Hey everybody, and welcome to a Bloodborne speedrun. Yes, that's right. I started speedrunning Bloodborne about a month ago, and I finally got a run together that I was happy enough with. Definitely not as well optimized as my Dark Souls 3 run, because I gotta say, running Bloodborne, like I'm actually, I like to think pretty good at Bloodborne. I'm probably the best of the Souls games or Souls-like games that I'm good at. But this run is fucking hard. It's pretty fucking hard. So I'm gonna do my best to walk you guys through it. I do some pretty safe strats, so hopefully that will help with it. Of course, you want to start as a military veteran. I got my notes down in the description. I'm gonna put a paste bin there for you guys, so if you want to follow along and look at the notes. But yeah, I'm gonna do a walkthrough commentary for Bloodborne. Should be fun. Pretty much gonna become a variety speedrunner on Twitch. I'm not really going for world records, anything like that. I just like having fun speedrunning on Twitch with you guys. Those of you who are able to come over there, and you on YouTube who are able to watch these walkthroughs with me. So, very, very nice. Now, the thing is, this game runs on in-game time. The records or whatever are judged on in-game time, but because it's on PS4, you can only run real-time splits. So, as you're going to see, like, my timer won't stop on load screens and stuff like that, but they don't actually count towards your time. You look at your in-game time on the save file at the end. So anyway, you start, obviously open the door, you want to run out. I like to let my stamina come back here before this wolf, but I guess I didn't do it here for some reason. And turn left and grab these 2 vials before you go and open the door. Now, like in the Dark Souls 3 run, you want to let your stamina be managed properly if you've seen that video. So basically the idea is to always have a little bit of stamina left when you're running, except in Bloodborne, it actually is different. In Bloodborne, there's startup frames to your sprint. Like there's a, what the fuck? I started, well, yeah, this runs a little clench-worthy. All right, there's going to be some rough stuff, but that's the least of our worries. Anyway, grab those 4 vials down there, pull this lever, it'll pull the ladder down, grab the 2 vials right next to the lever, and then as the ladder's still coming down, I'm going to run over here, roll through this, and grab these Molotovs. Now, what I was getting to is, you can actually just hold circle and let your stamina fully run out, because your stamina will come back, and when it comes back, you'll be at full sprint speed. If you stop it, you'll have to do the startup frames again, so it's actually better to just hold circle. The only time you really want to stop your stamina short of running out is if you know you're going to need a little bit more. Just like in Dark Souls 3, if you're going to take a fall or if you're going to grab an item and you know you're going to be getting some stamina back, it's often good to cut your stamina short. Let's see. The other thing is circle jumping, but don't worry, I'll get to that. So you want to go up the lamp, light the lamp, go to Hunter's Dream. Now there's going to be a little glitch here. I don't know if I get it in this. So you get the Saw Cleaver. As you can see right there, if you go quickly to them, if you go quickly to the little messenger guys, the game, it seems like it won't load out the weapon selection fast enough. So you can actually, if you're quick enough, you can grab the Saw Cleaver if you menu to it, and then you can grab a second weapon, which you want to grab the Threaded Cane. We actually use the Threaded Cane for a skip later in the game. So we don't upgrade it or anything like that, but I'm going to equip it in my second weapon slot. So try to grab the Threaded Cane. If you can't, I'll point out in a little bit, there's an area where you can grab the, I think it's called Saw Hunter's Badge, and then you can buy the Threaded Cane for 1,200 Blood Echoes, and it's not too far out of the way. So if you could see there, you could actually see the startup frames. Now, menuing in Bloodborne is a little bit awkward, because unlike DS3, it actually covers up the whole screen, but the same principles work. You can run, but make sure you've gotten to full sprint speed, otherwise you'll run in the startup speed. And you can use R2 to switch through, like as you saw there, I didn't like go back and forth. Like I equipped the Saw Cleaver, pressed R2, equipped the Threaded Cane, pressed R2, equipped the pistol, and then I went down and equipped the Molotovs, which at this point we have 10 Molotovs, which is really nice. Usually in all bosses you only grab 4, grab 2 extra blood vials there. But yeah, so we'll have 10 vials, because we need some for later in the run, and we need some for Gascoigne, who's going to be the first boss, who is, I've got to say, very reset heavy. That's one of the rough things about running Bloodborne in general, is the first split is very difficult, because it takes, if you use my strats, almost 5 minutes to get to Gascoigne, and then when you do finally get to Gascoigne, he's pretty rough, so you might reset often to Gascoigne. Anyway, Sorry, I'm kind of glazing over what I'm grabbing in the run. But you talk to, I talked to Eileen there to get 2 extra Bold Hunter marks. There is an area where you can grab 2 others, but I get 4 there because there's a little bit, I like to use them because there's some times in the run where you'd normally use a Hunter mark, but that is like the Dark Sign in Dark Souls, and you'd lose all your Blood Echoes, so I don't want that. So this is the area where I was talking about. Right in the sewer to the left, there's actually a pig. And next to the pig to the right is a Saw Hunter badge. So typically what I'll do is if I don't get the threaded cane, I'll go down there, fist a good pig, and get myself some blood vials. Like it gives 2 to 4 extra blood vials, and then you can grab the Saw Hunter badge. So it's just a little bit of extra. You lose about 25 seconds if you do that. But you know, when you're starting up runs, it's actually nice to have the extra vials. So I would almost even recommend going down there. I'm pretty sure my notes use a little bit more safe strats than even this route does that I run in this stream. So there's always the notes there to follow. So now we're at the Gascoigne fight. So I definitely recommend healing to full because you'll take damage from falls. Now, Gascoigne, what you want to do with him is you want to try to get Gascoigne on these stairs, because what you can do is you can parry him like that, get a parry, and then get him up against the wall, throw a Molotov at him. And the thing you want to use against Gascoigne is transformation attacks. So R1, L1, L1, L1 is, you know, the standard transformation combo, because as you can see, R1s don't stagger Gascoigne, but transformation attacks do. And I found that you can get him in this weird cycle where you can get him to like keep shooting at you and you can kind of strafe his shots and get him. But I did a pretty poor job here. You can actually keep hitting him and get yourself out of him going second phase, which the second phase is pretty dangerous. I mean, you can parry it like any other phase of his, but I struggle very badly with parrying that phase. I'm honestly very sloppy at this fight still because I find it to be very difficult. There are better strats to use for this fight. You can use backstabs. There's a way you can throw a Molotov when he transforms. It does bonus damage. But yeah, I had a pretty sloppy fight here. This is pretty rough. Like I said, this run is not the cleanest because I think I ran this game for about 3 weeks. So, but as long as you have 4 to 5 Molotovs when you leave here, it's fine. You want to have at least 4, I would say. 5 is good, but if you have 4, that's fine. So you can use 6 Molotovs on Gascoigne, which is pretty generous. It's a lot of extra damage. But yeah, that was definitely a pretty rough fight. But it's still 20 seconds ahead because, like I said, I ran this game for a short time, so didn't get the craziest of runs. But I had a lot of fun with it. That's one thing I will say. This run is very difficult, but it's also very rewarding. I really enjoyed the run. So anyway, go up the ladder and get the blood gem tool because you're going to, of course, want to equip blood gems later. Blood gems, if you haven't played Bloodborne, are very, very important to damage in this game. They essentially upgrade your damage by a certain percentage, and you can fit 3 in your weapon by the end of the run. You light the lamp there and go down and grab the Hunter set and grab these 6 blood vials, which is nice little extra blood vials. I like to equip the Hunter's armor here. You don't have to. You can wait until after the Blood-Starved Beast, but I always just equip it here, and then I heal twice. Because this area is a little annoying to run through. These guys aren't so bad, but the dogs, I mean, fucking Soulsborne dogs, am I right? Like, geez, I hate dogs. I actually don't. I love dogs in real life. Fucking Soulsborne ruined dogs for me. No, they didn't. I still love dogs. Anyway, you go through this door. That door can actually be a problem. If a dog can actually run in front of you and prevent you going through that door, if that ever happens, just spam R1 to hit it once or twice and then roll through. You go down here to talk to Alfred because Alfred gives you 3 fire paper. Make sure you don't walk too far away from him, otherwise it'll stop the dialogue. Make sure you get the fire paper first. I go ahead and menu my Bold Hunter marks and fire paper to slots 2 and 3 here. And then I go pull the lever, and we're going to head down to Old Yharnam. For those not quite familiar with how Bloodborne routes, grab the Madman's Knowledge there as well, by the way. Which animation cancels aren't too hard in this game. If you're sprinting there, it's pretty easy to just kind of slide down. The reason you kill Blood-Starved Beast is to get to Amelia, you have 2 options. You can either kill the Blood-Starved Beast, and then you can go through the upper Cathedral Ward, or like the workshop area, to Amelia, or you can kill the Cleric Beast and then buy the Hunter's Chief Emblem for, I think it's 10,000 Blood Echoes, which is a lot slower. So we kill Cleric Beast later in the run. Grab those 3 Punch and Blood cocktails. They're going to be very useful for Blood-Starved Beast, and we're going to use another one later in the run. And then we're going to go to Old Yharnam. I'm going to take a sip of tea here really quick. if I'm ever commentating these speedruns, I'm going to be drinking some tea. Soothes my throat. So we're going to be talking for a while. Strap in, boys and girls. It's going to be a bumpy ride cleaning up the streets of Yharnam. And as we do so, we're going to be running down over here to these beasts. And then if you run down these stairs, you'll see that I kind of slow down here. And I take this drop and then I roll backwards. This is a skip and it's not too hard. You just roll backwards. You roll here. Walk along the wall. Roll down and roll down. It's a very easy skip. It might require you a little bit of practice, but I would rewind it and look at what I just did a couple times. And I found it to actually be very consistent. There is a different Old Yharnam skip that has a jump. Make sure you grab the Beast Blood pellets there. Very, very necessary for the run. But my strats there, which I can thank Haiti on Twitch for showing to me, are very safe because if you fall off, you don't die. You just have to run through the area where the Charred Hunter set is with a bunch of beasts, and it's just a time loss instead of a death, which means you can still keep the run going if you've got not the best splits, like if you have time saves later in your run. Now, the reason you grab Beast Blood pellets is this is essentially what we're going to use for the rest of the run. Bloodborne, the reason Bloodborne I find to be much more difficult than Dark Souls 3 is you use Beast Blood pellets, which are kind of similar to Red Tearstone Ring setups for Dark Souls. Basically, what a Beast Blood pellet does is it gives you increased damage, but you also take increased damage for the more your beast meter is built. Now, you want to do transformation attacks because they build the beast meter a lot faster. I try to do 1R1 and 3 L1s, and then I do 1R1 and 2 L1s, and then I try to hit him 2 to 3 times with R1. That's enough to get him to transform. You throw another Beast Blood cocktail in the corner, and then just keep spamming R1 as he keeps running into it. I had a pretty bad fight here. He jumped around a lot. Yeah, this isn't a good fight. What you want to do is once you've got him to the point where he's going to go third phase, you want to hope to be behind him, and then you want to backstab. And the way backstabbing works in Bloodborne is to charge R2, do a charged R2, it hits him in the back, and then you can do another charged R2. That's better, actually, than riposting them, because your riposte damage is based on the amount of skill you have. At this point in the run, we don't have that much skill, so doing another charged R2, they take insane counter damage, and it's really, really good. But all things considered, that was still fine because he can be jumpy sometimes. That's just RNG. That's Souls running in a nutshell. Souls running in a nutshell is very, very RNG dependent. Of course, it's skill dependent as well, but you kind of have to rely on the boss to agree with the strategies you're trying to use to defeat them to some extent. Much more so in Bloodborne than in Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 was very scripted, I felt, but this game, not as much. Perhaps it's because I haven't run this one as long. Anyway, you want to go up the elevator and make sure you send it back down because we're going to go to Upper Cathedral Ward later, and then we're going to go down to the Hunter's Workshop. I always edge between like those two spots right there if you like that little plank of wood, and you actually don't need to heal. I know it really looks scary. I know it like looks really, really scary, but you don't need to heal. I have never died on that fall. It's very, very consistent. And what I do here, I try to heal when I run out of stamina because I know that... like I'm out of stamina, I'm not going to be able to sprint anyway, and by the time I'm done healing with the animation, I'll have enough stamina back to have my full health, and you're going to want to heal now because you're going to take more drops here. I take a safer path to save blood vials. You can actually drop pretty much straight down and live if you're at full health, but yeah, I conserve vials because I'm still getting good, right? So I go this way, and I try to drop on this thing right here. And that's a lot less health. Like, I'll only need to use one vial here to heal before Amelia. This guy seems scary, but he's only ever hit me in one run. I usually just roll, and it's pretty easy to get past him. We're going to run around here, and I guess I shouldn't glaze over too much what I'm grabbing. Like, I did grab the doll set, and I grabbed the umbilical cord, which I'm going to pop here on the elevator after I heal. I kind of run over the button and then heal. And then use the umbilical cord. You need 3 of those to get the moon presence, which you need for the All Bosses run. The reason you grab the doll set and a cold blood like that is for souls. We sell the doll set because it's actually worth, I think, like 30,000 blood echoes or so. So it's very, very good in the beginning of the run. At the halfway point in the stairs there's actually another cold blood you can grab if you want to. I didn't grab it here. I run up and grab the vials. Definitely do grab those. It's just 6 free vials. No reason to not grab them. And then we're going to head on to Amelia. And I believe I have a gold split on Amelia here. For those who aren't familiar with speedrunning lingo, gold split essentially means the fastest I've ever completed this split between Old Skinflaps and Vicar. So this should be a good fight to show you what you want to do here. So you want to use the fire paper before the cutscene, and then after the cutscene, you want to use the beast blood pellet. You're going to run it right over here to her arm, and then R1, L1, L1 staggers her, then R1, L1, L1. Don't wait too long to do that, otherwise she'll move back. Make sure you have enough stamina for 4 hits, and then R1, L1, L1, L1. Run to her face. You should try to hit with R1 once there, and then riposte, but I didn't manage to get the hit. Then you run to her right side, and R1, L1, L1. I mean, I won't keep saying that, but it's to give you the idea that that's how you do it on the controller. You do transformation attacks. So you go from one side to the other. At this point, your beast meter's full, now that you've done transformation attacks on both sides again, and then you just kind of spam R1 on her right side, and she should die. She can be jumpy sometimes. It won't always go perfectly like that, but it is pretty consistent to kill her that way. But the fight can be very scary if you don't get the strat right because you're using an unupgraded weapon, so it very much relies on the beast meter, and she just does a lot of damage. She does a lot of damage with her hits, and she has some pretty scary combos. So she was a sticking point for me for a while in runs. And the other thing about the Bloodborne run that's very difficult is you can't really fuck up, because if you do, you won't have the materials you need to win the fights. Like in Dark Souls 3, you just might not have a resin or something like that, but in this game, you rely on beast blood pellets to be able to win these fights in an effective manner. So if you die, it gets pretty hard to not reset. So light the Grand Cathedral Ward lamp, run down, pull the lever, grab that. We're gonna go to the right here behind this scary ass brain sucker. Fucking hate brain suckers. And stab this so we can grab the Twin Bloodstone shards. But yeah, Bloodborne, it's very reset heavy in the beginning, but you get consistent. I recommended grab the gem there. I recommended that you make save states, and I still do, but save states are very tedious to make in Bloodborne, because to do it you need a USB drive, and you have to copy the files from a USB drive, and you have to make a save folder on your PC to copy the different saves to. You have to close the application, talk to that guy to get the madman's knowledge. It's just very, very, very tedious. So I didn't do it. I just kept doing runs until I got good. And I think this was like my 50th or so run of Bloodborne. So I did quite a few runs. I think I completed like 7 or 8 runs across the last couple of weeks out of those 50. So I completed maybe like, I don't know, 13% of runs. Thank you, Ancient Dragon. I'm going to be running Soul Level 1, Dark Souls 2 soon on my channel on Twitch, because I'm going to do a Dark Souls 2 speedruns next for Souls. And Ancient Dragon's talking shit. It's all good. There's toe strats for him. But we're not focusing on that. We're focused on Bloodborne strats. Anyway, you fall down, grab that Twin Bloodstone shard. You get the lamp, because we're going to need to go back there. Jump down here, get one of your Molotovs ready, and then you should be able to lock onto this guy in one shot. I guess we'll call them lizards. They're not. I'm pretty sure they're called Wandering Nightmares, but I'm pretty sure the notes refers to them as a lizard. Because the Dark Souls, boy. Run here to the right. I want to note on these guys, it's really good to run like into their body. Oh, God. Salty gestures. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I can't believe I lived. I'm just going to say that. You want to grab the beast blood pellets there, but there's a bucket in front, so you have to hit the bucket or roll into the bucket and then grab it. But okay, so on PS4, they made it so motion controls or pressing X can use a gesture. That we call them salty gestures because they ruin runs. Like, I took a seat in front of that fucking guy. Are you kidding me? I can't believe I didn't die there. And this turned into my personal best, but so be it. You run past here, you grab the blue elixir. I grabbed a cold blood back there because I'm a little bitch and like extra blood echoes. You grab the blue elixirs. Be careful of the dogs. Can't do much more than just run past them. You don't want to fight them. And then we're going to run down into here. The reason we're running this route, you want the blue elixirs for a couple different points in the run. That's one reason. And the second is because we want the shortcut to Yusefka's clinic, because we're going to grab the Cainhurst summons and the cord from her later when the blood moon falls. Excuse me. Because we need to get to Cainhurst for Logarius, and we need the cord for the moon presence, and it's the easier cord to get. There are 4 cords in the game, but one of them requires doing an NPC quest line that you don't really want to bother to do in a speedrun. It's just faster strats. Now, one thing I want to note here about this poison is if you're poisoned here and I'm pretty sure poison takes about 90% of your health bar here. So if you've taken basically any damage, make sure you heal to full. You can heal at the top of that ladder if you want, at the top of the first ladder. But I would just make sure that before you go into the poison lake, just make sure you're full health. Because you don't want to risk dying on one of these ladders. That would be catastrophically tragic, which has happened to me before, which is why I'm saying it. Anyway, you pull this lever here and then go ahead and use a bullet Hunter's Mark, and we're going to go back to the Hunter's Dream now. And for the first time since we got our weapons, so yeah, it's kind of crazy. You don't really do much in Hunter's Dream until this point in the run. Now, I run a different route than the current meta route. As I've said, I try to make routes that are easier for you guys to pick up. I really want these to be routes and runs that you guys can jump in on if you want to and have fun with. Because to me, games are about having fun. These speedruns to me are challenge runs. They're not a competition with the community. They're a competition with myself. I respect the hell out of the runners in the Souls community that grind, the tough skips and all that stuff, but that's just not for me, and probably not for most of you guys either. I think you guys just want to have fun. But if you want to grind those tough skips, Speed Souls is a great place to start with that. They have a great Discord and a great website. So go ahead and sell the doll clothes. I grab the silencing blank there because that's the same place the Eye of a Blood Drunk Hunter is going to be. Now, I know you're getting mad at me right now, but all right, speed strats, boys and girls. We got to kill the doll, okay? Because basically, killing the waifu skips her dialogue, and it's faster over the course of the run. So I know it's really painful. You don't want to pimp slap the doll, but I'm sorry. Speedrunners gotta bring up that backhand because you gotta go fast, all right? just fucking do it. You gotta do it. Just power through. I believe in you. Anyway, you want to grab the Eye of the Blood Drunk Hunter and then go to Cathedral Ward. You want to level to 18 Vitality, 25 Strength, and you should get 14 to 15 Skill. And then for the rest of the run, we're only going to be leveling Vitality and Skill. And I think by the end of the run, I have 33 Vitality, 35 Skill, and 25 Strength, which will vary depending on how it goes for you. Anyway, we travel to Cathedral Ward, and as I run to the entrance to the DLC, which is this spot right here where Amygdala will grab you, I pop the gold pendant. Typically in a run it wouldn't be useful, but I go to Paarl earlier in the run than usual, and I just put it on because there's no other gem to go in that place until after Paarl, and it just gives you bonus damage there. So I split there for Enter the Nightmare, and then, as I said, we're going to do a run through the DLC, and the reason we're going to do a run through the DLC is because we can get a lot of twin Bloodstone shards and a couple Bloodstone chunks here, and those are going to let us get a +7 weapon. So after fighting only 3 bosses, we're going to have a +7 out of 10 weapon, which is pretty fucking good. Normally in the run, you have a +4 weapon for fighting the Shadows of Yharnam, ROM, and all that stuff, and it's a lot harder that way for new runners. So you light the lamp, grab the first twin Bloodstone shard right there out of the gate. Thank you, Larry, for the sub. Very generous, man. I don't know why I'm thanking you. I thank you when I was on stream. You do enough for me as a mod. I'm just kidding. You turn around here. These dogs, I've never been hit by those dogs. So I just grabbed the Bloodstone shards. I saw the route that does this actually uses a blue elixir here, but I've never had to. Try not to regen your stamina there because those guys will jump at you. Stick to the left here and you should have no trouble dodging the boulder. It hangs to the right. I never really get hit by these guys either, except for fucking Hentai Santa Claus up here. He sometimes can hit me, so I try to run really far to the right. And then you want to run in here because we're grabbing Lawrence's eye pendant. And the reason we're essentially doing this is I'm going to grab the lamp that's very close to Ludwig. That way we can just teleport to the Nightmare Church, which is the lamp, later. So I'm doing the beginning of the DLC run now because since it's a speed run, I'm not just going to come here and grab the materials I need and then just, bold Hunter Mark out. Now, if I remember correctly, this fuck blocks me. He does. I'm pretty sure I die here. I think I do. So what I would recommend you do there, which I did very poorly in the moment, is let him keep walking, because I'm pretty sure if I hadn't attacked him or gotten near him, he would have just kept walking. But yeah, I was way too focused on going fast, and I was pretty annoyed because I was like, fuck, man, we're on such a good run. And I actually had time to save on this split because I actually died on this split before for a different reason. So I was pretty annoyed. But that wasn't It's not a not costly death, but it's not the worst. So I think I die quite a few times across this run, because as I said, I still haven't optimized it completely. I think if I were to get a deathless run of this game, I could probably get in the 130 range with these strats, but yeah, I just don't want to grind the same speedrun too much. I want to try to do as many different speedruns and playthroughs on Twitch as I can, because I want to, get to play a variety of games with you guys. The speedrun I'm working on right now is actually Breath of the Wild. That's going to be the next one I'll upload, and then after that it should be Dark Souls 2, I believe, is the plan. Grab the 6 blood vials right there. If you were coming out of the church, you just hang a left there, and that's where you'd end up. Now, I clipped the blue elixirs a little late here, but yeah, you want those in your 6th slot. Now, stand behind this, then run forward, stand behind this, wait until the second gun shoots, and then run to the left, and you should be good to just run straight past the guns, because the one on the far left shouldn't shoot you. That's something that, if you want to see the timing on again, I would just recommend watching that back, because it's very safe, it's very consistent, but kind of scary. Here, I actually thought it would be scarier because of this big boomhammer dude, but you can actually just run past them there. So you can run down and grab the Twin Bloodstone Shard and then just run behind them and you're good. I ready my Molotovs here because I'm going to run back to this area where you may know is where the Bloodstarved Beast is, and the Amygdala Arm. And then we're going to throw 2 Molotovs at him, I believe. Yeah, I throw 2 Molotovs and then go here because I want to save 2 for later in the run. So that's what I typically try to do here. I try to save 2. So if you had 4 there, you just use 1 on him and then attack him. The only reason it's better to use more Molotovs on him is because obviously the Molotovs do way more damage. It takes 3 to fully kill him, but that's only if you have 6 Molotovs when you kill Gascoigne, because I already used 1 in the forest on that other lizard. So what I do there, I grab the Bloodstone chunk before I go down. I hang a right and walk around the Bloodstarved Beast. I have never in any run been hit by the Bloodstarved Beast using those strats. You hang a right around, you run just a little like loop around his butt, and then you go up and grab the shards, the two shards, and then grab the shard on the way out. And at this point, we have everything we need. So I use a blue elixir right before we come around the corner so that we'll be invisible. And a blue elixir makes you invisible, kind of. It basically, I think it would be, I don't know if this is what it's called. It's like the obscuring ring in Dark Souls. It just makes it so enemies don't get alerted to your presence quite as quickly. Now, this guy is a little scary. What you want to do here, typically your blue elixir will run out. Mine ran out a little late there. The reason I looped around his butt is because he'll typically shoot his gun if he sees you. And if you loop around him like that, he'll shoot it and then he won't get hit off the ladder. It's pretty consistent. I think I've only died there like maybe once or twice. So running through the DLC here actually isn't super scary. Running through Ashes of Ariandel early was a little bit scarier than this, but this is pretty good. You can run to the left there, and this is the reason I'm going to save time. There are blood vials over there, and there's a little guy clanging on the gate who has blood vials. But at this point, I wasn't using safe strats quite as much, so I was like, I have 17 vials here. That's more than enough. Plus, I had died, so I still managed to save time because in the other run, I went over there and I got the vials from the little gate dude, and the witch bitch followed me to that fucking lamp and scooped my eyes out. After I lit it, fortunately, but yeah, I was not pleased with that. So anyway, you want to go up here. We're going to buy 16 Bloodstone Shards with Insight. That way, that's how many you need to upgrade to each tier, 16 of each. So we're going to upgrade our weapon all the way up to +5, I think, before I realized that I ran out of fucking Blood Echoes. At first, I thought I missed a shard, and then I realized, fuck, I don't have Blood Echoes. So I was like, fuck. What do I do? If this happens to you, don't panic like I did, and go to purchase items, go to sell items, and what do I even sell here? I go and sell my fucking starting armor. And then I go down and I'm like, I can't sell my Madman's Knowledge because you need that later, because we use our Insight to get a Blood Rock later in the run. So I was like, no, I can't do that. I'm like, this better fucking be enough. And fortunately, it was just enough. Would have been scary otherwise. And then you want to slot the 2 blood gems that we picked up. The Tempering one we picked up and the Gold Blood Gem, as I said, will be useful for Paarl. So yeah, upgrading our weapon to +7 after buying the 16 shards, and then you want to slot the 2 blood gems. Hopefully you'll have souls. The only reason I didn't have enough blood echoes, sorry, I call them souls sometimes. The only reason I didn't have enough blood echoes is because I died in the DLC. Normally I'd be fine, but I lost some of my blood echoes when I died to Hentai Santa Claus, so it fucked me up. but it's all right. That shows that, like I said, this run could be optimized more. There's mistakes I made. There's some deaths. There's some, fumbling around like that. But it's no biggie. So we're going to do a small skip here. It's a pretty easy skip to learn. I didn't include too many skips, but I included a few that are really easy. This one is running, and then you kind of hug the left wall and then jump to the right. And I fail miserably with some crazy-ass baby jump. But you kind of hug the left wall and then jump to the right, and then you can roll up here. And this is a nice little skip through the area. See Bloodborne's load times there. You roll through the barrels, run out here. This is where that cannon guy is. You run into the left and run behind this guy. It's very rare that he ever does an attack that would get you. So you should be pretty safe there. Grab those beast blood pellets, and then we're going to run all the way to the Shadows of Yharnam because I don't need to grab anything here. In the normal run, you would need to grab twin bloodstone shards and some other stuff here, but I don't need to grab anything because I've already got my weapon to +7, and we are good to go. Let's see, this is probably a good time to talk about circle jumping. I said I'd talk about it earlier in the run, and I didn't. I fucking hate circle jumping. I'm just going to put that out there. Like, I know some people like it. They've told me in my streams that they like it. What I don't like about it is the fact that I don't mind sprinting with circle and pressing circle to jump. That's fine. I can deal with that. I prefer using L3, but that's fine. What I have an issue with is the fact that you can't roll when sprinting because it's mapped to circle. You have to stop sprinting for a second and then roll. And sometimes you'll get what's called a stored jump. You'll stop sprinting for a second or two, but you'll jump anyway. And the real problem that I have with that is Bloodborne has 200% counter damage on the player. And there are times where you'll try to just be sprinting around a boss or something or an enemy, and you'll press circle to roll to try to dodge, and you'll just jump in air like a dumbass, and you'll get counter hit and killed. It's pretty miserable. That's a tiny skip there. You run behind those little snakes at the end, and then I typically fist this pig. This is a safe strat just to get some extra vials. You don't need to do this if you're good on vials here. Definitely don't recommend it because it's not that fast, but I got lucky there. They can drop 2 to 4 vials, and he gave me 4, so I was like, fuck yeah, all right. I got 19 vials here, good to go. And now for the Shadows of Yharnam, you use 1 Beast Blood Pellet, and the goal here is to kill the Fire Thrower first, the Katana user second, and the Flamethrower guy last. I'm not great at this fight, I'm going to be honest about that. I'm still not really good at it. I try to run to the right and stack them there at first and use transformation attacks to hit both and build it up. You really, really got to be careful of the Fire Breath guy, though, because if he hits you with that, it'll stun lock you, and it's just really scary. And honestly, they can kill you in about 2 hits, so this fight is pretty nuts. But once you get that one to low enough health, they all transform. So that went pretty well. I managed to kill him pretty quickly. Those are the attacks in the second phase you want to watch out for. These guys can do these long-distance stabs, and it's pretty scary. Doing parries isn't great. You really do want to build Beast Meter and hit them. But like I said, I'm not the best at this fight in the run, so I like to play it as safe as possible. And there's a once you've killed the Katana guy, though, there's a pretty easy strat here. Really making me work for it, though. So what you want to do here is if you keep doing this, pressing R1, he'll keep dodging to the left. His AI is programmed to dodge to the left, so he'll just keep dodging to the left. It's a very, very safe strat. So basically, once you've gotten to that part of the fight, it's 1 unless you get some crazy RNG. Ran into a tree there because I was so scared about what happened. I saved a ton of time there because I died in the previous PB to the ring race. I think I died and was like 5 minutes behind, but I ended up PBing because I died to Lawrence so many times. Like the DLC is the hardest part of this run for sure. Anyway, grab the Madman's Knowledge, grab that lamp, try to get away from I think they're called Garden of Eyes, but I just call them fucking mosquito bastards. I hate these things. And you just run past them. Now, there is a skip here, but I don't do it because it's a pretty difficult skip in my opinion, so I just won't even glaze over it. If you want to know what it is, look for Lunarium skip on Speed Souls, or some people might call it ROM skip. The thing that's scary about it, though, is the real boss of Byrgenwerth. That fucking hunter, that fucking hunter. Just watch. Just fucking watch. Please tell me it's this run. Well, not that I want it. Look at this shit. Look at... Boom! You're dead, bitch. You are dead, son. And here's some fucking crop dusting for your troubles. My God, dude. I hate that bitch. A call beyond. Like, there's nothing I could do there. There's nothing I could do there. I see someone saying I'm YouTube famous. What the fuck? There's nothing I could do there. There's nothing. I can't, like, slide down the elevator to dodge it. I can't get to the top of the elevator faster. You just have to YOLO it. You YOLO that shit, and that's what I mean. Sometimes you're just gonna get bad RNG, all right? It happens to all of us. If it upsets you, I feel your pain and I understand completely. But it's just the nature of the run. And I was disappointed because I actually died to ROM on these splits as well and had to go back to Hunter's Dream to upgrade my weapon because I had a +5 because I forgot to grab a Twin Bloodstone Shard like a dipshit. So I have a time save here as well. As you can see at the bottom, I have a 4-minute time save, and I was like, all right, fuck you. The other thing is I need to grab my Blood Echoes here because I have the Shadow of Yharnam's Echoes in there. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. We'll make it work. And then I get fucking hit again. Yeah, you can see it. You can see, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm pretty sure I said something like that. I honestly have fun with it. It's whatever. Like, shit like this happens. I can't get upset about it because it just, you can see that I'm smiling. Like, it just happens. Like, it does. It's annoying. Like, I could have saved a good bit of time here for later in the run, but it just happens. This is why you have to grind runs for these games if you want to get a good time, because sometimes things like that are just going to happen to you. And when you have better times than I do, you won't be able to withstand deaths like that. If something like that happens to you in a run, you just have to reset. People going for world records and stuff like that, or people down in like the 120 range and stuff like that, they're not going to be able to deal with those kind of problems. Now, granted, they would probably use the ROM skip, but still, they're not going to be able to deal with that kind of stuff because that'll just ruin, it'll be too much of a time loss, basically. Fortunately, no enemies ever took my Blood Echoes. Be wary of that. If you die, an enemy can in this game take your Blood Echoes, and you'll know that because they'll have glowing eyes. Fortunately, the third time's a charm, and this bitch leaves me be. The reason you go up here is because there's a key, the Lunarium key. There is a tiny skip here where you can actually get on that railing, but I've never been able to do it. So just run past her, let her crop dust you a little bit, and then just get the fuck out. Just get the absolute fuck out. Talk to Grandpa really quick so you can get some insight, and then get the fuck in the lake. Get away from that bitch. Ugh. And now we're going to fight ROM, which I know everybody loves potato mashing, all right? Everybody loves it. Well, I also love it. So you shoot ROM, and the reason you do that is just to activate the fight. That way you're not up close to her, and you can start hitting the spiders. Now, typically you would use Fire Paper here and also a Beast Blood Pellet, but I only use a Beast Blood Pellet, and I only do so after killing a decent majority of the spiders, and my reasoning for that is after you've done one transformation attack on the spiders, you'll kill them in one R1. You're not really building Beast Meter, so you're going to see what I do here. I'm going to use the Beast Blood Pellet, and I'm going to run up to this one and use rolling R1s. If you roll rolling L1s. If you press roll and L1, you'll do a transformation attack. And again, the extending transformation attack really builds your Beast Meter, so it's great to use. I tried to hit both there and didn't manage to get that one, but it's fine. Hit it a little bit and build the Beast Meter. Now, typically, I'll do an R1 and two L1s, but ROM moved back. If ROM moves back, ROM's not going to teleport out yet, which is pretty good. So I got pretty good RNG here. Now you hit 3 times of the regular R1 and then you charge an R2. That'll knock ROM out of teleporting, and then try to get 3 R1s and then a transformation attack. So you can actually get a 1 cycle. I've gotten it before and killed ROM in one go. But if you don't, you still have plenty of Beast Meter. You can go up and get ROM in 2 hits at this point, pretty much. There is a trick to actually finding out where ROM is too. If you saw there's, the moonlight, you actually want to go to the back right of where the moonlight is. So opposite of the moonlight to the right is where ROM's going to teleport for phase 3. And for phase 2, it's to the left, to the back left of the moon. And I never found out where she is. I guess she's to the left, back left of the moon too. Like directly to the back left from what I just saw there. So that was a decent ROM fight. Like it could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse. So no complaints from me. Other than that, the real boss of Byrgenwerth. God, ugh. Just unpleasant, but totally fine. It's whatever. I'm pretty sure the rest of this run goes fairly smoothly, except for one part. I know there's one part in this run that really does not go smoothly, but we'll get there when we get there. So you get teleported after killing ROM to Yahar'gul, which this area. Man, my first playthrough of this game, this area was just so fucking hard. I died so many times in this frickin' area, but fortunately, it's not too hard after having done it before. You're going to see how I do it. Grab that lamp, and then we're going to go to kill Paarl. So I do different strats here, slower strats, but definitely gets the job done in terms of safety, which is, again, the goal here. So run through there. Run past all the enemies, make sure you kind of manage your stamina and dodge the guns effectively. Grab the bolt paper, because now we're going to use bolt paper for the rest of the run, because we're finally out of... Actually, no, we're not, excuse me. We still have one fire paper, because we didn't use it on ROM. We're going to use it on Paarl. Ooh, excuse me. That bitch hit me, and holy shit, she does a lot of damage. That's part of the reason Bloodborne's so hard, honestly, is they just do so much damage. Grab the chunk, then we're going to fall down here, and we're going to grab the upper Cathedral Ward key. Now, in a regular run, you'd Bolt Hunter mark out here, but I don't do that. I'm going to actually run back up and go to Paarl. There is a skip that would allow you to get to Paarl, but I don't like the skip because I suck dick at it. So, yeah, I don't bother with it twice. I only want to do it once. And going this way, we can actually get some extra chunks, which will let us get our weapon upgraded even faster, which is the goal. Basically, the faster we can get our weapon upgraded, the better. Is my opinion, because we're trying to make the run easier essentially. So more damage means easy. And at this point in the speedrun, they typically have +4, and I've got +7. And I'm gonna skip the lamp here, but I recommend you grab that. If you're new to this run, grab that lamp, because these witches can and will sneak up on you, and if they hit you, you will likely die. And having that lamp is very helpful for that. Now you want to kill that guy. That's where we're gonna use our second to last Molotov, and he will give 2 bloodstone chunks. At this point, we have +7 and 5 bloodstone chunks. So you can actually, after you kill Paarl, I won't do it in this run. Note that I grabbed the Frenzied Cold Blood and the Blood Vials. Really just peach strats. And then we're going to open the door. Now, note that after you kill Paarl, you could go back and upgrade your weapon to +8. I don't find it to be necessary. It really doesn't make that much of a difference on this next boss, the One Reborn. But as I said, if you're new to the run, there's no reason not to take every concession. And then, as I said in the DS3 video, remove those strats slowly. Like, once you feel like you don't need +8 anymore and you're fine with +7, you can do it. And if you want to go for world records, you can always go for the world record route after you've run my route and you feel comfortable with it. Now, I grab the blood vials and the bloodstone chunk there, and then I use the beast blood pellet. Now, let's see if I get this right. Yeah, I don't get it. So you want to try to run into an R1 and then transformation attack on the leg, and that's enough to knock Paarl down, but I missed the leg, so it's kind of weird. Sorry, did I call it ROM? Paarl moves backward when he does that attack, but really after that, you kind of just strafe around and transform the legs and knock them down, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I'll just call them transformation attacks from here on out. I keep calling them R1 L1s. I think I've hammered it in enough. I think some of you who even would want to run Bloodborne have probably played Bloodborne enough to know what it is. So transformation attacks. You're going to see, though, there's a lot of bosses in this run that are trivialized, more so even than Dark Souls 3. Like, there are a couple bosses in Dark Souls 3 that you kill quickly, but there's a lot of bosses in this run that you just annihilate. Anyway, I used the Bolt Hunter's Mark there because I didn't grab the second lamp, and then I go back to that one. That's a decent time save. And then I grab the bloodstone chunk there. As I said, I don't go back and upgrade to +8. I think it may say that in my notes, but I don't. I kill that guy with transformation attack, and then this guy takes 4 R1s to kill if it's +7. It takes 3 if it's +8. And then here's the skip. Skip's a little scary. Basically what you want to do is you want to stand about where I'm standing, and you want to charge an R2. Essentially, if you charge it in the right spot, it's going to let us go through this gate. I completely fuck it up, and this kills me. So the foot placement is a little tricky. I never mastered this skip. If you look up Yahar'gul skip on Speed Souls, you'll probably find better tutorials than watching me fail it miserably. But I could never find a consistent spot to stand. Because like I said, I didn't practice skips. I just kind of did it in live runs and said, fuck it. So I never really found a consistent place to stand. But the goal is that you want to charge an R2. It'll clip you through the fence. If you do it perfectly, then you'll drop straight down to where you want to drop to. If not, you need to use the bow gesture, and it'll edge you forward just enough, because it's a pretty fine movement. Like, you don't want to move forward too quickly, because if you do, you'll do what I just did, and you'll fall on your fucking face all the way down to hell, and we don't want that. So here I get it nicely, and as you're going to see, like I said, you just barely tip off. I do a drop attack there to make sure that I stick the landing, and then roll down onto here, roll down onto this, and then we use blue elixir because shit is scary, because we're going to have to grab this. So you're going to have to run forward enough that this bucket comes out. So I'm going to call them buckets of skulls. Grab the bloodstone chunk. I aggroed the other guy. Normally he doesn't get aggroed, but that was pretty fucking scary. You want to grab the bolt paper and the bloodstone chunks. You should be relatively safe with the blue elixir, but that's why I don't use the blue elixir until I get down there, because I don't know how long it's going to take me to do the skip. In the videos for the skip, if you do decide to watch some other skip videos, they typically use the blue elixir before they go down, but I think it's best to wait if you're not perfect with the skip. I grab all 3 of the Madman's Knowledge there, and then we're going to need to grab a blood gem here, a very, very good blood gem that we'll use for the rest of the run. It's a 15% attack up blood gem. So what you're going to want to do is run in here, stand here, wait for him to attack and move out of the way, grab it, and then get the fuck out of there. I don't know how I dodged that. Fucking skills, boy. And then the Bucket of Skulls here, there's 2 that will spit these like blood darts at you, and they hurt a lot. So you're going to want to run diagonally back and forth here to try to get those out of here. You want to get the bolt paper on a lot earlier than I did here. This is not a good spot to menu it, but I said, fuck it, I need it because you need it for this fight. Go to the right behind the wall where they can't hit you with those blood darts. Get your bolt paper and beast blood. And then we are going to run to the right side of the One Reborn. Make sure you run so you dodge that blood dart. Now you can just do 3 R1s here and it'll knock him down. And I get stuck. But what you want to do is go up to this guy and use transformation attacks, and you will basically do a lot more damage when hitting him. This fight can be a little scary just because of the fireballs, but like I said, my damage here is pretty outrageous, and you can just really keep knocking him down. Now, one thing I want to note, that was a really good fight. If you don't knock him down the second time, he's going to do the AoE attack. He's going to do the big AoE, like, I'm sure you enjoyed that. And you can run to his butt. I always tell you to smack the booty. I always tell you to go for the booty. So what you can do is run to his hind legs and start hitting his hind leg. If you're hugging his hind leg, you are safe from the AoE attack. So if you hear the roar, go for the booty. More specifically, his legs. I don't even think he has a butt. Honestly, I'm not going to look for it because he's fucking disgusting. Anywho, touch Micolash's face, go to the lecture building, and then we are going to light the lamp because we're going to come back here later for Amygdala, and then just run into the Nightmare of Mensis. Here's where we're going to use the Pungent Blood cocktail that we've been saving this whole time. Definitely only want to use 2 on Bloodstarved Beast, which should be more than enough. The Bloodstarved Beast strats aren't very hard. Like, I think I've pretty consistently gotten that since the beginning. But anyway, moving on to the actual run. We're going to go to Nightmare here, and the reason we use the blood cocktail is because, as you're going to see here, there's one of the little werewolf guys, the standing up werewolf dudes, and you don't want him to sneak up on you because we're going to kill a lizard here, or a wandering nightmare, for the last bloodstone chunks that we need in this run. We'll have enough to get +9 at that point. So you want to throw it further than I did. I didn't do a very good throw. If you throw it further, you kind of want him to run away from you, because otherwise he will lose interest in it and he'll come sneak up on you, which may happen to me here, because ideally you could have 2 Molotovs here to make that go faster, but I didn't. Grab the bloodstone chunks, grab the frenzied cold blood, and then I do not grab the lamp here. I would recommend grabbing the lamp there, because this area is pretty easy to get killed in, because these guys can do like a YOLO jump attack. They can one-shot you. I don't grab the lamp because I'm going to grab a different lamp. I was talking to my chat about completely just doing YOLO strats here and like going straight to Micolash, but there is an easy way to get the shortcut for Micolash. So I will show you guys how to do that because I'm fairly positive I do it here. So just continue to run. Shouldn't really have any problems once you're past the bridge, and then open this door. And if you're afraid of spiders, well, I'm sorry for what's about to happen, because you're not going to like what's about to happen if you've never played Bloodborne. Because this room's fucking horrifying. Look at that shit. Ugh. Fortunately, I'm not that afraid of spiders, but yeah, that's ugh. So anyway, just run past them. Run a little bit to the left on that staircase, because that spider on the right has a tendency to jump, the one at the end right next to the stairs. So then just run to the right around this guy. I've never been hit by him doing that, so it should be consistent. You can bop that guy with R1 if you want to get him out of the way, but I just kind of leave him and run past him. Now, run down here and get this elevator, because this is a faster way to the lamp that is a shortcut for the Micolash shortcut. So going down the elevator, light this lamp, and then if you want to, you can go back to Hunter's Dream here, which, do I go back to Hunter's Dream here? I do. I go back and level up, because I have about 130,000 blood echoes, and I can get my weapon to +9 now. So that's why I don't upgrade for +7, because if I go to one of the lamps here in the Nightmare, then I can level up here and get my weapon up. If you don't want to grab the Micolash shortcut, you should grab the first lamp and go back to Hunter's Dream. But, you know, that choice is up to you. I upgrade my weapon to 9. I put the new blood gem, the 15% attack one, over the gold blood gem because we're not facing any more beasts in the run anytime soon. And the 15 attack one's better than, I think the gold blood gem is like, I think it's like 13% attack or something. Anyway, you want to level up after that and then go to Mergo's Loft. The souls you have, or blood echoes you have vary sometimes. I managed to get, I think, 24 vigor and 23 skill there. But that is ahead of what you'd normally have in the speedrun. So as long as you have like 26 skill by the time you've killed Wet Nurse, that's pretty good. Anything else can go in Vitality. And you want to get 35 skill by the time you get to Lawrence. So I kind of just level Vitality and skill equally until I get about 28 Vitality. And then I just start leveling skill after that. And then if I do get to 35 skill, then I just, you know, go ham. I will mention, I ran to the left there. If after you get that shortcut, you run to the right, there is a Beast Blood pellet behind some mirrors over there. So if you are short a Beast Blood pellet because you died at any point, that is a place where you can grab one Beast Blood pellet. Also note that in Hunter's Dream, in your storage, you can only carry 10 items and they don't replenish from the lamps. So there's actually, I think, 4. If you don't die at all, I think there's 4 Beast Blood pellets in your storage as well. So just take note of that. And you do that by going up to the area where you upgrade your weapon. Like before you get to the area where you upgrade your weapon, there's a little like chest where you can grab items in your stores. So that's the Micolash shortcut right there. I send that elevator down. If we didn't take that earlier elevator, we've had to ride that elevator all the way down, and it's a lot longer. So I just step on it, let it go down, and then run to Micolash. Micolash is a hardcore memer. We all love Micolash. Don't deny it. He's our favorite Bloodborne boss. So we're going to enjoy this fucking greatly. And I'm pretty sure I get shit RNG here as well. I grab those bullets because they're there and why the fuck not. And then run up. Micolash will sometimes run to the right, but he typically doesn't. What you want to do here is just route Micolash to the room. So this is typically how most fights will go. He'll run up there, force him to run, and then push him into the room. Now what you want to do here, get him all the way into the room, use your bolt paper there, use your Beast Blood pellet here, and then we're going to turn around and walk out of the room. Usually there will only be 1 puppet here, but I got 2 puppets, and they give you that. There's a shitty attack they can do where they jump down. As you can see, this is going fucking incredible, and I'm just like panicking. And Micolash is just fucking standing there, and he bops me. Thank God I healed. Yeah, Dickolash. Fabulous, you're fucking right. And, okay, so what you wanted to do there, you want to kill the 1 puppet to build Beast Meter. Essentially, the goal, as you're going to see here, this is where you want him. He'll come in this room, you walk back in here, and you can pin him up against the wall. Do transformation attacks to build your Beast Meter, and then just keep bopping him, and you can just strafe, because pretty much every time he's going to do the auger of a Britas attack, and it's pretty easy peasy. But the puppets were scary, man. Scary ass puppets. Be afraid of double puppet RNG, because that is what it will make happen. And grab the blood vials there. I think it's 6 or 8. Run like a madman to try to dodge that arrow, because it does like 70% of your health. And then let's see if no, he doesn't. Okay, he can actually run to the left there, but he didn't do it here. If he doesn't, you run up, get there. Now this is a tricky strat. I don't think I get it here. Do I? I don't remember. You use another Beast Blood pellet and another thing, another bolt paper here. What we're gonna do, roll down and try to slam him. I missed there. I wasn't fast enough. What you want to do, if you can actually like slam him with the extended attack, he'll fall on the ground basically, like he'll fall flat on his face, which is fucking delicious to watch. And then you can actually roll in front of him in the door, and you will stop him from running away, basically. You'll stick him in the room. That way you don't have to run around and do this. It's just a little skip. I try to drop attack him there because I don't want him to use a Call Beyond like a little prick. And pretty much try to get him in a corner because it just helps. But he goes ham with the fucking punches there. Like, this is fucking Punch Out. It's fucking Bloodborne, bitch. But fortunately, he didn't use a Call Beyond. I know a lot of people struggle with a Call Beyond, myself included to some extent. The best way to handle a Call Beyond when he does it, I've heard that you can shoot him to stagger him out of it. I've never tested it myself, but that may be the case. And another way to handle it is if he gets it off, you can actually quick step through it, but you need to time it properly, and it's pretty scary because if you get hit, you're gonna die. If you get hit by a Call Beyond, you are dead. So it's much better to stay close to him because he uses a lot less when you stay close to him. All things considered, even though I didn't get the skip, that was still pretty good. It wasn't going to be a gold, but it was still, you know, a 43-second time save. I will definitely take that. You want to run up and grab the lamp. And then here, Suicide Mission is just a short little split I have because we're going to go grab a Cursed Blood Gem here, which is the best blood gem we get in this run. It's an 18% gem. But it's a little scary because you have to run past 3 of the scariest enemies in these games. Not these games, sorry. Maybe it is. Maybe they are the scariest enemy in the Souls series. I don't know. Maybe they are. The fucking... the brains. The brains, man. I don't like them. Brain maidens. Scary as fuck. So I got bad RNG on that one, and she got some frenzy off on me. You can typically run to the left, but their placements are weird. This, like, it is RNG where they're placed. But you can just kind of run here, grab this, and then go around and use a Bold Hunter's Mark. You can take frenzy once, but you can't take it a second time. It's just a little bit of a balancing act. You're going to have to judge it for yourself. I can't tell you every scenario that's going to play out there, but you're just going to have to judge for yourself where you're able to grab it and where you're able to use the Bold Hunter's Mark, and it went pretty well. The reason I have a split there is because I do sometimes die, and I also suck at rolling out of that elevator. Kind of glazed over that fact. You need to not roll out of that elevator early. It seems like you can roll out of that elevator earlier than you can, but there's this overhang that gets in your way, so try to wait a little bit longer before you roll out of that elevator, and standing in the back of the elevator helps too. Anyway, moving on. Run past those guys, run up here. I'm going to fist this pig. You can, if you want to, just YOLO and use a blue elixir and run through here, but I always fist the pig because it gives you some extra vials, souls, and it's just a little bit safer. And if you want to play it really, really safe here for some extra souls and stuff, you can, like, play it safe and kill these pigs. You can hang right here and hide behind the wall and wait and backstab the pigs, but I don't bother with it. I don't use a blue elixir here. I just grab the blood gem that we need. That's the last blood gem we need. And then I run past the pigs. Now, another safe strat here would be you could put those blood gems on to make Wet Nurse easier because I just picked up a 15% gem and an 18% gem. Right now, we're only using 15% and 7.3% on our weapon. So it's a pretty significant boost to your attack damage. But I didn't here because I was like, I have a really good run. I want to save time here. I think I can do this. It'll be totally fine. Wet Nurse isn't hard. Wet Nurse just has a lot of health. But as you're gonna see, I'm just gonna spoil because I'm a filthy spoiler. This doesn't go well. I really, in hindsight, wish that I had gone back and upgraded it because I would have killed her. But yeah, something happens here in this fight that's pretty scary. But what you want to do is try to get behind her and use transformation attacks. Your beast meter build's pretty damn quick on her, so just try to stay behind her after that and spam R1 basically, and just keep moving behind her, keep dodging behind her attacks, and just stay behind her. I mean, that's the standard strategy for this fight anyway. And as you can see, it's going decently. Like I'm doing a bit of a poor job of dodging, but it's going okay. She's giving me decent attacks. I'm getting decent damage on her back, and everything's fine. Staggering her nicely. Pretty much almost dead, so this isn't a great fight, but it's going all right. If that attack ever happens, you can literally just strafe it by strafing to the left there. But as you're going to see here, she normally has a tell for that attack, and maybe I saw it there a little bit. She usually raises her arms for a good second or two and then starts doing that attack, but she just kind of YOLO'd it in my face. And as you can see, I'm a little blown back by that, because I would have saved time there. That was actually a decent fight. And everything, I would have been ahead probably, or at least on pace. So after that, I said, fuck it, I'm going back to Hunter's Dream and I'm upgrading, or I'm putting the blood gems on, because I was like, fuck, man. I was pretty upset because I was on a really good run and I still had time saves in this run in the DLC, so I was pretty sad. So I was like, fuck. Because not only that, like I mentioned, when I die there, you have to consider the fact that I lost a bolt paper and I lost a beast blood pellet. So that is bad. Anyway, as I said, you want to equip the curse gem in your third slot, and you want to replace the 7.3% gem with the 15% gem. So now I have a 15, a 15, and an 18, which is very good for new game. Like, that's more than enough for new game. The blood gems really are meant for new game plus. There's better ones in the dungeons. You can, in the Chalice dungeons, you can get like a 27.6% cursed gem for physical attack, and those things are insane. I had them on like a level 60 twink character once, and it was godly. Anyway, not much else to say during this time, so I guess this is time where I can talk about other things for the run, because it's just going to be running back and fighting Wet Nurse again. And there's not much to say about the Wet Nurse fight. It's really not a difficult fight. It's basically smack that booty, and it's pretty straightforward. But apparently, the chat told me that I guess that attack that she has sometimes has a wind up and sometimes doesn't, and I didn't know that. I thought it always had a wind up. So this is what I mean. You learn new things every time you run, and that's why you have to keep doing runs, because you'll learn more. And I was very annoyed there because that's my second sitting salty gesture. You can't actually reorganize your gestures when you're getting off the bed in the beginning of the game to prevent that from happening. Like, it'll give you a different gesture, maybe like joy or conviction or something, but yeah. Anyway, on the bright side, and this is the reason I end up with more levels in the end of this run, I'm getting more souls here because those pigs will fight the shadows, and I'm just collecting extra souls. But I was pretty worried here because I was like, fuck, dude, this is a sloppy run. I'm running out of bolt paper and beast blood pellets. And I also knew this was one of my last days running Bloodborne on Twitch. And I was like, if I get a PB, like, this is going to be the one that I upload to YouTube. This is going to be the walkthrough one. I want to make sure it's a clean enough run. Like, I can't expect no deaths, but I want to make sure it's clean so people know what to do in the run. So I was pretty disappointed that I was having such a good run and then it went a little poopy, because I'm gonna spoil again here. When I talk about bad RNG in runs, like, it can honestly be annoying, actually. Like, see, there was a bit of a wind up there. Maybe I didn't read it right last time. I don't really know. It can be annoying to hear runners talk about RNG all the time, especially in a series like Souls where, it's based on skill. Like, you want a runner to be honest in the fact that they're getting good RNG, bad RNG, and whether it's just them doing a bad job. And the last time, I honestly think, even, like, I just did a bad job. Even if it was like a YOLO attack, I should have known that that was possible and been more careful. But as you're going to see here, even though I'm having a good fight, I get really early nightmare phase there. Or maybe she does it when she gets to 20%, but it's just RNG. There's really nothing you can do about it. So if it ever happens, what I do is I run around in circles around the map, because it typically dodges the attacks. But as you can see here, it does not pan out, and pretty disappointing. Pretty disappointing. This is easily, I'll tell you now, this is easily the biggest time loss in the run. I do die, I think, maybe like 2 or 3 more times in the run, but they aren't the most costly deaths. But these are pretty costly because the run back is pretty far. It's not a very short fight, and this is the point in the run where I'm running out of bolt paper and beast blood pellets, because when you go to Blue Goobers, you pick up a Cosmic Eye badge, I think it's called, and it allows you to buy bolt paper, and after that point, you can also use Insight on beast blood pellets because you bought the Blood Rock. So at that point, once you have all that stuff, you can buy bolt paper and beast blood pellets with Insight, and it's pretty safe. But here, I saw that I had 3 bolt paper, and I think I have 2 beast blood pellets. You need beast blood pellets and bolt paper for Wet Nurse. You need it for Amygdala, which is Lanky Kong, and you need them for Blue Goobers, and you need them for Abritas. So I needed 4 of each, and at this point I was running out. So I knew already that I was just gonna have to fight Amygdala without any buffs, which isn't too bad, honestly. You'll see when I get there. Like, the fight is pretty easy with this weapon at this level. But it was still pretty disappointing, because if I hadn't lost that first fight, which I was pretty close to finishing, like the real time would have probably been about, I don't know, I think I lose about 7 minutes total here. Maybe more? I don't know. I'll have to see. But yeah, it was pretty disappointing. My in-game time probably would have been closer to like 140 had I not had these deaths at Wet Nurse. Like, the rest of the run could have gone the same. So these were the only really disappointing deaths in the run. Like, the rest of the stuff was my fault, bad fights, whatever. But this one was a little bit hard to swallow. And as you're going to see here, and as I was talking about RNG before, like, getting Nightmare Phase isn't great RNG, but this RNG is really bad too. Like, this is great so far. This is great. She's giving me great attacks. Everything's going nicely. Like, this is great. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna be able to get behind her. I'm gonna get some good damage, but I healed to be safe at this point. And then she goes nightmare phase again. The one thing is you can't actually stagger her out of it, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm desperately just like, please, I want to stagger her out. And then I thought like, okay, I'm just going to try and YOLO an attack. And I was like, well, fuck. I don't want to die. Like, I can't die again. I don't want to lose the run here. But I said, fuck it. Like, I'm going to lose the run if I have to wait too much longer. So I need to kill her. Because the thing is, and fortunately I do pull it off, the DLC is the hardest part of the run. I never know how well I'm going to do in the DLC because the three difficult bosses are Maria, Lawrence, and Orphan, and they're all in a row. And since I never know how it's going to go, I'm like, I can't be this far behind. Like, I could die a couple times to each of those bosses. Who knows? I haven't practiced them enough because, like I said, I don't do practice splits, so scary stuff. But you have to wait a long time to get the lamp to pop up here, so you use whatever you have. If you have any cords, if you have any Madman's Knowledge, Cold Bloods, whatever, now's the time to use them because you got to wait there for like 30 seconds. So, yeah, I lost about 7 minutes there. It was pretty bad, but we are gonna get it back. Don't you worry. We're gonna get our time back. Well, I think we'll get most of our time back. We'll see. We'll see how much time we get back. I mean, spoiler alert, this is a PB. I wouldn't be posting it if it wasn't. So I managed to get 29, or I think I go for 28 and 32 here. Like I said, I always go for 28 and then try to get skill to 35 after I get 28 vitality. I could tell just by my menuing there, though, that I was just distracted from how the Wet Nurse fight went. And I talked about this in my my Dark Souls 3 video. Just try to forget when stuff like that happens. Don't let it get you down. Like I was super stoked in this run, and I remember I watched some of the VOD back before I watched this so I could remember what happened in the run, and my tone shifts completely. Like, I just felt so disappointed after that. I felt so down because I just really wanted to go out with like a really good, like, blow it out of the water PB for me and for everyone watching and for you guys on YouTube, and it didn't happen. But I'm still really happy. I only speedran the game for a couple weeks, and I got a pretty nice time. I was also pretty upset there because that guy never does this. He never attacks, but he just decided to. I'm sorry, I've been yakety-yakking. I grabbed my Beast Blood pellet, which he only had one, I guess. I grabbed the one Beast Blood pellet I had. I guess it's not 4. I grabbed the one I had, and that guy attacked me. You want to run down the ladder. There is a skip here, but I don't do it because it's pretty difficult, and it only saves 15 seconds or so, so if you don't get it right away, it's not worth it. But yeah, at this point, I was like, fuck, are you fucking kidding me? But that's basically what I was saying inside my head, but God, my fucking chat. And stay down. Yeah, thanks, Dovahkiin. Thanks for that, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, and Gwendolyn, talk about a sloppy run in the game will deliver. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was talking about it being sloppy at this point. Well, anyway, you go down here. We talked about Patches the Spider, and the reason we do this is because another safe strat I do in this run, which honestly you could probably remove, is getting runes. The three runes I end up using in the run, the only one that I think really makes a difference, because I don't parry that much, is this rune that gives you extra stamina. But I also use the Blood Rapture rune that you get from the Shadows of Yharnam, and we're going to use a Claw Mark rune that we get from a guy in Central Yharnam, which is why I do the Witches early. Typically in the run, you do the Witches as the 4th to last boss, because you just run straight to Logarius and Cainhurst from there, but I don't do that. Also because I just want to note, if you do decide to change that in your route, because I talk to Eileen in the beginning of the game and get those 4 Bolt Hunter marks from her, I start her quest line, and she will block off the Grand Cathedral lamp after you kill ROM. So that's why I open the shortcut in Cathedral Ward. It's not necessarily just a safety strat for Amelia. It's also because you can't go to the Grand Cathedral if you talk to her, which is a downside of getting the 2 extra Bolt Hunter marks in the beginning of the run. Which I'm pretty sure is one of the reasons why runners don't do the other, is that it's slower than grabbing the other 2 that you can grab in Central Yharnam. Anyway, you go through there, you get the rune, you run all the way through and run to here, and there's really nothing to grab here other than 1 Madman's Knowledge, and it's right before Amygdala's room. So just go on and run through the lake here. There is a faster way to get through this lake, a slightly faster way, but I don't run that way because it's a bit more dangerous. You have to take a long jump and a lot of damage. So fuck that noise. And I'm just going to stick to the left side here because there's enemies in the middle of the lake. And we're just going to keep running. Jesus. We're an hour and 8 minutes in, and I feel depressed, man. I feel depressed after watching it. It brings me down. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be disappointed. It's a very good run, and I'm very happy with this run. I'm very proud of what I was able to do. I'm a perfectionist. I want to do the best. Anyway, you run down here. Sometimes the Brain Maiden won't hit you. Sometimes she does. If she does, make sure you're like good health that way. Like I probably would have been okay there, but I wanted to make sure I didn't die because it would have been bad. Sometimes she can hit you again if you're not fast enough too, so be careful. Like I said, you grab that Madman's Knowledge. Now I think I show the strat here, but I only have 2 Bolt Paper and 2 Beast Blood Pellets, which I'm going to use on Blue Goobers and a Britas, so you won't really get to see the strat, and I'm not very good at the strat. What you want to do is use a Bolt Paper here, Amygdala will jump down, and then you want to run straight to the door and use a Beast Blood Pellet, and then as Amygdala comes down, you can hit Amygdala's head, and it should do this. It should riposte him. You don't want to take the riposte, though. I did here because I was like, well, fuck it, I'm just going to take it. But you want to hit his head. You can take like your weapon extended out and do attacks on his head. But here I just kind of YOLO it and am like, just give me your fucking arms, bitch. Just let me attack your arms. Die. And I can't manage to get the last bit of damage on him. I'm just like, fuck. Hit his arms. And then I go to my safety strat, which is going for the tail. The reason the tail is a safety strat, not because you do damage to the tail, like the damage to the tail is trash, but what you do want to do, if Amygdala ever jumps, I think I've said this before in a video, if Amygdala ever jumps, his head is always going to be where his tail was when he jumped. So I use that as a way to get damage on the head, but unfortunately, didn't get it, but oh well. It was a fine fight. I had such a bad fight, even with the buffs in my other PB, that I actually saved time there, which is pretty nice. Use the Madman's Knowledge there, and I think there's a better place to use that cord, but I just use it there, because I think that's the one you get from Wet Nurse, so I guess maybe there's not a better place to use it. I don't fucking know. I use it there. Anyway, it goes straight to Central Yharnam. Don't worry about leveling up or anything like that. At this point in the game, with this Blood Echoes you have, I think you could only get like 1, maybe 2 levels at best. There's no point in leveling anymore at this point, really, until later. Want to wait till you can get a couple levels. And then we're going to Cathedral Ward because we're going to get first the Cainhurst summons and the last cord, and then we're going to go kill Cleric Beast, which is LOL really, which LOL really is my thing. It's going to be in every single one of my runs because there's always an LOL really boss, which honestly, there's a couple LOL really bosses, like I said in this run. Like Amygdala, you saw how I did it without buffs. If you can actually get the strat for Amygdala, you kill him in like 6 seconds. It's fucking absurd. Anyway, respect the fact that Bloodborne has like absurdly low fall damage and just YOLO jump all the way down. I grab these bullets because I'm like, fuck it. I want the bullets. And then I think I say here, I'm not healing. And if I die to this brain sucker, it's completely my fault. So I let my stamina come back there because I'm like, I'm not going to die to this fucking brain sucker, though. It's not going to happen. And he actually runs for me. He actually fucking does. But fortunately, he doesn't run all the way over. It would have scared the shit out of me. Anywho, climb up the ladder. No heals because full balls. And we're going to run to the right when we get in here so we can get the Cainhurst summons. And then we're going to turn immediately around and we're going to grab the cord from the fake Yusefka. And then we'll use a Bold Hunter's Mark to go back to the lamp that we just came from. And then we'll run to Cleric Beast. The reason you wait for this, for those that don't know, is before here, if you go here before, you actually have to fight Yusefka, which she's actually one of the hardest NPCs in the game, right up there with the real boss of Byrgenwerth and the Bloody Crow of Cainhurst. She's pretty fucking tough. But if you go after the Blood Moon, she's giving birth to fucking insanity and craziness. So you can just run up here, smack that booty, take it, Bold Hunter Mark out. And at that point, we have the 3 cords. Now, I just want to note, make sure you consume the cords. Make sure you consume the cords, because if you don't, you will not get to fight Moon Presence, and your run for all bosses will not be valid. So that would be bad. Because after you fight Gehrman, you'll just get the other ending, and that would be very, very disappointing. So make sure you consume those cords. You need to anyway in my route, because after LOL really, you should have enough not stamina. You should have enough fucking well done, D-Mod. You should have enough insight to be able to buy the Blood Rock. You need 60 to buy the Blood Rock, which, just a random note about Bloodborne, you need 60 insight to buy a Blood Rock, which is totally fair. Like, it's something gives you a plus 10. It's like a Titanite's Lab in Souls. It should be pretty rare. It takes 20 to buy a blood chunk, though. It takes 1 for a shard, 2 for twin shards, and then it goes to fucking 20 for a chunk. Why are they so expensive? It's fucking crazy. Anyway, face tank that attack from the dog because you don't give a fuck. You've got so much health now that you can just lull in its face. And then run up to this door. And then run through. And then we're going to run to the left, and you will see that Cleric Beast is truly LOL, really. Because keep this in mind, we're fighting Cleric Beast with a +9 weapon. This is why we leave him for later in the run. It's because there's no reason to kill him earlier. He's just a boss that needs to die because this is all bosses. So we go here when we get the summons to kill him, and yeah, as you can see, the damage is just... yeah. 6 R1s. Try to hug his right side, your left, and just hit that leg, and it should take 6 hits, and he's dead. I pop the last cord while I'm waiting for the lamp, and then as you can see here, I have 62 insight. And I want to say I might actually forget to upgrade my weapon here. I think that I do. It's not like you really need it for the horrifying archdemons of Hemwick. Probably my favorite split name. Most clever. Definitely true. 100%. Sorry, drinking tea again. And as I said, you want to go to the Cathedral Ward lamp here. And we're going to use the shortcut route to get to the Hemwick area because Cathedral Ward is currently blocked off by Eileen because we got her questline started. Her questline goes basically either you fight the Bloody Crow of Cainhurst if you do her questline and help her kill... I can't quite remember his name. I'm sure someone can let me know in the comments. But there's a guy you fight after you kill Gascoigne in Gascoigne's arena. What is his name? He's the dude that gives you the thunder resistant armor from the Insight shop. I can't remember it off the top of my head. It's a pretty tough fight, but if you help Eileen with that fight, then I think that's it. But maybe there's more to request. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here because really there's not much to talk about. Like, this is just one of the points in the run. Like a Dark Souls 3, we were just running and running and running and running. We're running in the 90s, which has been donated to my stream a lot lately as a speedrunning song, and it's a lot of fun. I like that song a lot. I grabbed 3 extra Bolt Hunter marks here because they can be useful later in the run and they're not far out of the way at all. And then we're just going to run through. And one of the reasons you want to use the Insight for the Blood Rock, though, like, you really don't need the extra damage, but one of the reasons it is very nice is because if you use the Insight, you won't have to deal with the Mad Ones, as I think they're called, which you can see coming out of the ground there, because you need 15 Insight for them to appear. Like, they will appear in the Witch's fight, because the only way to keep them out of the Witch's fight is to have 0 Insight, and even if you did have 0 Insight here, you would still have them pop up, because you get Insight for just starting a boss fight. In this game, you always get an Insight, at least 1 Insight for starting it, and then you get Insight when you beat it. So the first time you face the Witches, there will always be Mad Ones, but a trick if you, for whatever reason, want to make the Witch's fight easier, you can go spend all your Insight after you get in there. Use a Bolt Hunter's mark, go spend all your Insight, and then there'll be no Mad Ones, and then it's just 2 Witches. But yeah, I'm sure as most of us can agree here, it's a very, very easy fight. So really just running through. Not much to say. There's no items we're grabbing here. I don't know that there's many. I don't know if there's any items we even grab for the rest of the run, because at this point we have the Insight to get the Bold Rock. They call it Bold Rock? That's a type of hard cider they sell in Virginia that's pretty tasty. Show my true colors here. That's right, I like fruity drinks. Come at me, bitches. I like beer too. I like whiskey. I like tons of shit. I like alcohol. This is a totally random subject, and I'm pretty sure there's people that watch my channel that are underage, so don't drink until you're 21, kids. It's not good for you. Drink in moderation, all that good stuff. I'm drinking tea right now. I'm drinking green tea like the fucking hipster that I am. Lol for making jokes twice in speedrun commentaries. Nah, green tea's healthy, man. It's great. I'm honestly just don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because this is one of the most resident sleeper areas to run through, because there's just like no threat at all. Other than maybe this spot where there's a bunch of dogs, like they can jump you. I think I do get hit a little bit here. And if I got hit by that Molotov, that would have gotten a lot fucking scarier. Did I say scarier? From fucking Jersey? Now I'm probably offending people. Anyway, this is why this is a problem. We just need to get here. If you have a suggestion for how to run through here better, I'm all fucking ears, because I get hit pretty much every time I go through here. And I almost died You can see the scare on my face right now. And that dog, if he had hit me, like, that would have been it. I was just, give me in the fucking boss room, please. Heal up, because we know the witches is going to be a tough fight. Run around, and then what you want to do is you want to try to get behind her ass, but she's got such a fat booty that it's kind of hard. And then you want to get behind her. Now, I fucked up. The thing about doing the R2 thing I talked about with parries, like, you need to R2 quickly. You need to R2 and then R2 immediately. If you don't have the stamina for it, just take the riposte, because to get the counter damage, you have to R2 immediately. Anyway, the second witch is here. I fail the backstab because she turns, because she don't need to listen to me at all. And she teleports away, which is like, fuck you, bitch. And then I think I almost die here, if I remember correctly. I'm like, oh, look at that pitiful damage. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And then look at this shit. Look at that. Ugh. Like, there's something to be said about YOLOing things in speedruns, but don't ever, like, this is fucking Souls and Bloodborne, all right? Don't ever just be that cocky like I was right there. Like, that will get you killed. I deserve to die for that. I mean, I did make a calculated decision. I saw the damage and I was like, I'll be fine. I'll just YOLO through it and attack and I'll be fine. But obviously that was barely the case. So be careful. Be fucking careful. Anywho, go down, grab yourself the rune tool, which is why we bother to do this. I lost time because that was a horrendous fight. And then go back to Hunter's Dream and cower in shame for the horrible fight that you just had against the witches. I mean, at least the witches didn't hit me. At least it was the spammy ass mad ones, but still. All right. Now I was confused because I was like, normally I'd already gotten the blood rock here, but I was like, oh, I got to get the runes on. And then go out. Wait, do I not get the blood rock? Where am I going? What the fuck am I doing? Oh, I'm buying blood vials 69. Hello? The memes. Okay, yeah, obviously I'm fucking disorganized here and my whole chat is clenching right now. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's our Dmod clench emote. And then after that, I didn't have enough blood echoes to buy the upgrade. So this was just a horrible menuing sequence altogether. I sold some items that you use to get to the Chalice dungeons, and I was like, okay, fuck, fine. Now I have enough. This is why you tend to fortify your weapon before you level or anything like that, or spend things on blood vials, for example. Those 69 blood vials, if I had just bought 68, we would have been fine, but I had to go for the 69, because I loved the 69. Probably wasn't a good time to drink tea. It probably wasn't a good time to just be quiet and say nothing. Oh well. I just realized, I just looked over at my audio, and it looks like I'm such a loud motherfucker. I'm looking at it, and like, I think some of my audio throughout this video might clip. If it does throughout the video a little bit, I'm sorry. I'll do my best to quiet down, Dmod, relax, stop being excited. It's fucking, what time is it? It's fucking 4:52 a.m. right now. I woke up 2 hours ago and I was like, I'm gonna record this Bloodborne commentary and get it out for everybody because I'm being a responsible YouTuber and I'm going to upload more frequently like I said I would. I mean it. I have like a solid schedule in mind for what I'm gonna do for YouTube. I was just confused for a while about what I wanted to do on YouTube. Beyond Souls rankings and stuff, but if you watch the recent video on the criticism in Dark Souls 2 stuff, I have a very, very good idea for what I want to do for YouTube, and I'm really excited about our new 10 Things I Love and Hate series. I forgot about that, dude. I couldn't even do anything but laugh. What the fuck was that shit? Okay, let's do a mental replay of that. First of all, never been hit by that fucking dude, ever, in any run. Second, not only does this dude drop the fucking base cannon so hard that I get hit backward, but it's just enough to knock me off the fucking map. And the icing on the shit sandwich, this dude, this last dude who must have followed me from the other area before, he does a drop attack for good measure. I forgot about that death. I completely forgot about that. What the fuck is this run, dude? Oh my god. This is what I mean. Like, for Dark Souls 3, I ran Dark Souls 3 for, I think, like 3 months, and then I took 3 months off, and then I ran it for, like, another 1.5, maybe 2. So, yeah, that... the fuck? And as you're gonna see here, drop the base cannon again! Thank God I didn't fucking fall off that time, but... I can't believe it, and I got shot again! What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Stop! I'm not even playing, and I'm just like, stop! All right. Calm down, D-Mod. It's all going to be fine. The blue goobers are next. Okay. It's going to be fine, guys. All right. And then after that, we have hentai fun time. Everybody likes hentai fun time, okay? It's going to be super fun. It's going to be fun time for everybody involved. It's going to be amazing. Now, when you run up these stairs, I glazed over the whole thing, but really, there's not much to say. You're running up to Upper Cathedral Ward. If you played Bloodborne, you know how to get there. Just don't get the fucking base cannon dropped on you. Now, grab that blue elixir if you want to. You don't really need to. It just gives you extra blue elixirs for later, which honestly, I don't think there's any point in grabbing it, but if you're doing safe strats, there's no reason not to. If you want, you can grab that lamp there. But I don't grab it. And then when you go up here, there's a scythe dude. He can do two things. He can either point at you like a dipshit, or he'll do this and attack you. Try not to get hit by it, because it does like your entire health bar pretty much. And if he does do the little where he points at you, then just hit him with R1 and kill that bitch. Now what you want to do, this is the threaded cane skip I was talking about. Take it, transform it into a jumping R2, walk slowly back to the wall like that, take out your Saw Cleaver, and then do 2 charged R2s. I think if you get the right RNG, you can actually do a charged R2 into an L1, which will extend out far enough to hit him. I got the skip really well there. Basically what you're trying to do, you're aggroing the brain sucker so that he'll come close enough to the door so you can kill him, and that's the guy who drops the orphanage key. It's just a skip, but it's pretty inconsistent. If you don't get it, Speed Souls doesn't allow quit outs and runs like they do in Dark Souls 3, and I totally understand it. It's because Bloodborne has really long load times, and they didn't want to allow them to quit out at every door and everything because it would save in-game time, but it'd be really tedious. Like, I'll be honest with you, and I just want to note, I grabbed that badge, and that's a scary place. If that brain sucker can be in a random spot, and he can be scary. But I never liked quitting out in Dark Souls 3. I didn't. I just did it because it got better in-game time, and that's what it ran on, and that's what all the runners did. But I think it's boring. But if you don't get that skip, quit out and it'll reset his position and let you hit him again, because he can back off too far so you can't reach him. I just say quit out there. If you're not doing this for world records or whatever, fuck it. Like, it's not worth resetting a run over or running through Brainsucker Village. Anyway, use a bolt paper and a beast blood pellet. Just use transformation attacks, kill these things. And then you should be able to 1, 2, he should jump back, and then just spam R1 and he will die. It varies depending on how much beast meter you get built, I think. I've killed him in 5 hits before, but 5 or 6. I take this lamp because Abritas, funny enough, actually, if you do the strat, is not a hard boss in this run, but she can, I'm pretty sure anyone who's played Bloodborne can agree, Abritas can just one-shot you. Like, she can just absolutely one-shot you. So even at this point in my running, like, I still wanted to do that safe of a strat. But I'll shut up so we can see what we do here. So in a second here, my Beast Blood Pellet's going to run out. And what we're going to do, the reason this is so good is because the first fight with Abritas, the second one, she won't let you do this, but the first one, you have to aggro Abritas. You have to hit Abritas for her to fight you. So what I'm going to do is use a Beast Blood Pellet. 1, 2, 3. Use 2 transformation attacks. Then use your Bolt Paper. Wait until she's about to... Wait till her health bar comes up. You won't be able to damage her until her health bar comes up. I actually did it a little bit early and missed the hit, which is why the strat didn't work. But basically, if that does happen, just go to her right side and hit her. Keep knocking her down and just beat the shit out of her head. As you can see, that was very clean. Like, I didn't even get the strat completely, and it was very, very clean. The reason is because you build beast meter on her body, hit her head, and then the head just takes so much damage, and with the transformation attacks, you're able to get it. One tip is if Abritas' head is all the way up, like if she's fully upright, you can use the transformed R1. Like when your weapon is extended, the R1 swings up above, and it'll hit her head, which is pretty useful if you need one more hit to just stagger her. But you'll have to play that by ear. And that strat has never been too bad. I've pretty sure I've only died to Abritas in a couple of runs. It works pretty well. It wasn't too hard to figure out. The real thing is timing. You really don't want to start hitting her until her health bar comes up. I've actually had it before where I've staggered her without her health bar coming up because I hit her too early. Here I spend all my insight on Beast Blood Pellets and Bolt Paper to try to equally spend them out. I bought an extra Bolt Paper so I'd have an equal amount. I think I have 7 Beast Blood Pellets and 7 Bolt Paper now. Because now we're going to the DLC. And this is like the rest of the run. There's the 5 DLC bosses. There's the... then there's Logarius and the 2 final bosses. That's all that's left in the game at this point. But this is the hard part of the run. Like this, the run is challenging, don't get me wrong. But this is the hard part of the run. The old hunters every single boss can kill you. Even Ludwig and Blue Goobers, who are pretty easy in this run, still have the potential to kill you because they do absurd damage. Anyway, grab these blood vials. If you want to, you can run to the right there, and there's that dude who's smacking the gate. If you kill him, he'll be there every time you respawn, and he always gives 5 vials, so that's a tip to anybody. Always gives 5 vials. Very nice. They put him there because they knew he was hard. Remember to menu on your stuff here. You want to use a bolt paper before the fight. Then we're going to use a beast blood after, and then dodge the opener. There is a strat for Ludwig, but I don't do it because I'm not consistent with it. I can tell you what the strat is while I do this. I really just go for damage. Like, that was very fucking close. As I said, this fight can go poorly. I did a bad job in this fight. Typically, I had good Ludwig fights. It was weird. When I first started running, I had good Ludwig fights, and then I started having bad ones. But if you want to try for the strat is to hit his back leg with 2 R1s, his back left leg, then hit his front right leg with 3 R1s, then hit his head with 3 R1s, and then just spam R1 and he goes second phase. And then after that, you really just spam R1 in this phase, pretty much. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Like, this was a bad Ludwig fight. Like, this was one of the worst ones I've ever had. But still, I definitely played it a little ballsy because at this point I was like, okay, I'm 5 minutes ahead. That's still a good time and everything, but I'm not gonna play it not risky. But the fight's not too bad. My recommendation personally, you can try to get consistent with the strat if you use save states, but I'd really recommend just playing the fight with R1s and transformation attacks and playing it safely because it works fine for me. Make sure you send down the elevator after you grab the skull. You need to send that elevator down. You need to light the lamp, so do both of those things. And then you want to use a blue elixir, and we're going to run through here. We use the blue elixir because this area, it just has a fuck ton of enemies. Like you'll see when I turn the corner left here, there's just an absolute shitload of these brain things. So forget about all that and go into the door here. Roll because you're scared like crazy because that guy is hitting you and they do a shitload of damage, which is why we use the blue elixir. Go up this ladder, and then after this, there's 2 of these dudes that you have to run past, and these dudes are kind of scary. They can hit and combo and stagger you. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. There's dudes that are carrying these like IVs, and they'll beat the shit out of you with them. But fortunately, I got good RNG, and he just like kind of ran over to the right. So it was good enemy placement. Come out here. Be careful, because sometimes these guys will block this path. They didn't do it this time, so you can just run past, but you got Grandpa there with his fucking Gatling gun. So that's scary. And then you're going to run up here, and this is where the second dude is with the IV. Typically, he hits me once, but it's usually not too much of a problem. I just roll, and then we're good to go. I don't think I've ever been killed by either of those guys. Go up the ladder, and then this is where we are able to... how do I say this? I'm having a brain fart. You like elevate the arena, or what? The fucking research hall, that's what it's called. And then you're able to get to the living failures, because before that, you can't get to them. But when you change this, it kind of moves the centerpiece, and then there's a staircase that allows you to go to the door. So what you do in the run, this is a bit of a skip. You jump down here, go ahead and heal, jump down to the next area, and be very careful, because there's a hunter that's down here. You can't see him because he hasn't loaded yet, but yeah, you just saw the tail end of his coat. And then I heal twice because the living failures they can smack the shit out of you. And there he is. Scared the shit out of me. I was like, no. Pretty sure that's what I'm saying. Anyway, the use a bolt paper, use a beast blood pellet, build your beast meter on the first one, and just be careful because, like I said, just don't be too ballsy because his attacks are pretty rough. And then the second one, by this time you can just spam R1. I took a break there just to see if he was going to do an attack, but after this, it's literally just wait for this one to spawn and spam R1 on it. I got pretty lucky here. Normally there will be a living failure across from you shooting magic, but like over to your left, like there he is. He just like popped out of the fucking nowhere. There, like you just need to make sure you're not too greedy and dodge that. Like I was a little bit too greedy there. I should have gone for 1 hit, not 2, because you could get in a bad cycle where that would fuck you up. But yeah, the fight was really good to that point. And then this guy, swooty, I want your fucking booty. Like, geez, man, where the hell? I've never seen that happen. Normally the ones over there don't bother you, but that dude came in hot. Dude, he wanted a piece, but it doesn't matter because I killed him anyway. And then I light this lamp. You can actually do a safe strat if you were really good at the DLC where you don't grab any of the lamps after the Research Hall one and use a Bold Hunter mark after Orphan, but fuck that noise, dude. These are the 3 hardest splits in the run, bar none, for sure. I would say Lady Maria is the easiest of the 3, which is funny because I'm gonna die to Lady Maria, I'm pretty sure. So use Bolt Paper, activate the fight, use a Beast Blood Pellet. Now, you can parry in this fight, and that's fine. Parrying's okay, but really what you want to do is build Beast Meter, as I'm doing here. You're, just like with Gehrman, or sorry, not with Gehrman, with Gascoigne, I mean, it works on Gehrman too, but transformation attacks always stagger. So there's only one attack Maria has that doesn't stagger. It's the one where she pulls her swords over her right shoulder. That one, she won't get staggered if right away on one transformation. It takes 2 transformations to stagger out of that one, so just be careful about that. But I got pretty bad luck here. I think it actually isn't bad luck when I thought about it more. Basically, you don't want her to jump away. You want to be able to stagger her with transformation attacks and then just keep spamming them. But she jumped back a lot. And I think the reason she jumped back a lot, I think if you're on her side or behind her, I think she's programmed to jump back. So just take note of that. I complained about it a lot and said it was bad RNG, but honestly, I think it was just bad practice on my part. And at this point, it's really bad. Like, I had such a bad first phase, which she went second phase really late. She's supposed to go at 70, and she didn't. I got lucky there. I probably should have died. But that's okay, because she cleans me up right there. Yeah, I had a horrible first phase with her. I wasn't getting my Beast Meter built at all, and it just was not going well for me. So, like I said, the thing to focus on here is you really want to build Beast Meter. I guess you have to dodge around her and hope that she doesn't dodge away. Like, maybe you want to strafe in front of her before you start doing the attacks. Maybe that'll be better. I haven't done the runs enough to know for sure, but I guess that would be my recommendation, but I haven't tested it. So getting back in front of her might just end up getting you hit. I don't really know. I've had fights where I've done it and just dodged behind her and she's stayed there to try to follow up, attack me, and it's been fine. So it's somewhat RNG related, but I think you could find a more consistent way to fight her without the jumping, because I'm pretty sure her jumpiness is just as bad here. Like, I don't think it's any better in this fight. Like, there. She jumps away. I kind of want to see and talk as we go through this. See, I'm on her side, and she jumps away again before the transformation. Here, she turns to me. So I think there's something to that. I think there is something to that, because it seems like she turns toward me, and when she does that, she doesn't jump away, because then she can attack. But if I'm behind her, she can't, like, turn around or anything, so she'll jump away. So that makes a lot of sense. That was pretty good, but even so, still, my Beast Meter is really not built very high, so it's not great. You really don't want to transform attack there. I usually go for 3 R1s when she's transforming, maybe 4. Try to parry that and fail miserably. It's pretty hard attack to parry. I never really know the timing on it. So I just played it safe here and said, fuck it, I'm backing off, healing. And that's always fine to do. Better to live than have to do the fight all over again, of course. As I said, that is the one attack that takes 2 transformation attacks to stagger, so that was not great. And then I was like, all right, fuck. I was doing fine in the first phase, and then I just started to fuck up the second phase. You really want to stay in her face. You want to do the transformation attacks to stun her, keep using the Beast Meter, and just... Basically, second phase shouldn't last long at all. You don't want second phase to last any time. I'm not totally sure how that hit me, but I'm pretty sure that attack has range. There's the Lady Freed attack that she stole from Maria. And I managed to get her. That was a horrible fight. It really was. I do, once again, I'll reiterate, I think there is something to her being in front of you, being important, and her not jumping away from you, so you can use that to your advantage to try to make this fight better than it was for me. In hindsight now, knowing that, I would probably be a lot better at this fight in the speedrun. But hey, if it helps you, then it's all worthwhile. So I grab my souls there, of course, my blood echoes, and after the Celestial Dial, because you have to wait a minute before you're able to run through here. And now we got 5 bosses left, everybody. We got Orphan, we got Lawrence, we got Logarius, we got Gehrman, and we have Moon Presence. Oh, boy. So I think here... Do I go back to Hunter's Dream? I don't know if I do or not. I don't know if I do because I don't know if I thought it was worth it or not. Because like you have to go back and grab Lawrence's skull before you fight Lawrence. I guess I don't. I don't even grab the lamp. I'll definitely grab the Lighthouse Hut lamp. I definitely do safe strats for Orphan. A lot of people ask me, like, because I've said that my opinions on bosses have changed over time. if I still think Orphan's the hardest boss in the series, and my answer is yes. I still think Orphan is the hardest boss in the series. Orphan is very, very difficult. Even after getting better at the fight through speedrunning this, I have never completed a speedrun out of the 8 or so runs that I completed where I didn't die to Orphan at least once, and I believe this run is included in that statement. Well, I don't know why it wouldn't be. Orphan's just a tough fight. It's a really tough fight. To be honest with you, what I struggle with so much in the Orphan fight is the second phase. The first phase I've gotten quite good at this point, for the most part, and barring maybe 1 or 2 attacks that I'm not the best at dodging, I'm pretty good. But the second phase I just find so difficult to punish, and that's on me. It's not that he's unpunishable. I've seen other speedrunners do it, and I've seen them do perfectly fine. But me personally, I just struggle greatly with the second phase. So I only do really well when I'm able to have my beast meter high in the fight, and am able to get through the second phase pretty quickly. And it also depends somewhat on RNG. Like, you don't want him calling the thunder and shit like that. Like, it's pretty annoying if he does that kind of stuff. We'll see how the fights go. I'll worry about it when we get there. But I mean, this point is self-explanatory. Like, again, if you played Bloodborne, you generally know how to run through these areas. Like, of course, I'm just running past enemies and stuff like that. But there's not much to say about my movement. Like, I'm turning left around this corner, and then up here I'm going to turn right, but watch out for that guy who jumps at you. But you don't need to dodge because it just doesn't hurt you, even though it runs into you for some reason. And then you fall down here, fall down toward the left because we're going to grab the lever for the elevator. Then I'm going to go up for the shortcut that I was talking about. And then I'm going to take a breath because I've been talking for too long, but that guy's going to drop down, so make sure you attack him. All right, I'm going to stop. And nice job. Nice job, guy. Anyway, go up the elevator, and we're going to grab the shortcut. It's kind of annoying that you have to go up this elevator. There's a door here that you have to open to the lamp. You can't just have the elevator be sent up. So then we go back down the elevator, and then you want to make sure, I don't know if I do it here or not, but you want to make sure that you send the elevator back up, because there's no point in taking the shortcut if you're going to have to grab the elevator again. Like, it only takes an extra second or two. So if you're going to do the safe strat, you may as well send the elevator back up too. There's no reason not to be doing that. Anyway, heal to full. Go in, skip the extremely disgusting cutscene, and then I'm gonna do the fight. I always walk to the right over here, and then use my shit. Now there's 2 opening attacks. There's really good one, which is not that one. That's the bad opener. There is a good attack you can get from Orphan, which I did not get here. And wow, this is not a good start, is it? I got lucky there. I would have died if that didn't stagger him. That was very lucky. Really what you want to do for Orphan, like, I'll just talk about the strategy, is you want to backstab fish. You want to do what I talked about before. You don't want to riposte him. You want to charge an R2, and then you want to charge an R2 again if you, like, you should see it here. I should get a backstab here. And then charge another R2, and you can see that does very big damage. You can't see it fully because it's my big-ass head, but it does, like, almost 3,000 damage backstabbing him like that. Like, that was good, so that's 11. Yeah, see, you get, it's about 2,600, it looks like. Compared to a post, which I think does, like, I want to say, maybe like 800 less. You have to, when he transforms there, you have to delay a little bit on the backstab because it won't work unless you delay it. Just take note of that. And honestly, the fight hadn't gone horrible to this point. Like, it was a bit sloppy on my part for sure, but maybe it was bad. I ran out of my beast blood pellet. Okay, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. And then he called lightning. I tried to just salvage it and make the best of it. Because, I mean, even if I played it safe here, it could be fine. Like I said, I've never not died to Orphan, so if I kill him here, it'd still be a big time save, but I completely do a shit job of dodging that attack. Fortunately, I managed to get through here. Then he goes absolutely ham, like he likes to do. Try to get some kind of backstab. Like, I do so much backstab fishing, but I'm just not great at strafing and punishing the attacks. If I was better at it, it would be different. But yeah, at this point, I have no vials. I'm trying to just get something to happen, and I'm just not doing a good job. Because like I said, I really am mediocre at fighting his second phase in the run. Because in a non-speed run, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to worry about speed. You can take all the time in the world and, you know, take the windows you want to. But in a speed run, you want to do it somewhat quickly. Like, it's obviously, I've said it's better to play it safe than die. But yeah, this is bad. At some point, you got to hit him, you know? But that's all right. It happens. Sometimes we die. It happens. It's no biggie. It's no big deal. So as I said, you want to send the elevator back up. I could have saved myself a good amount of time here if I had, probably like 10 seconds, but I didn't because I'm a dummy. Either that or I thought, I was like, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him on my first try. To be fair, he didn't give me a lot of great attacks in the first phase. Yeah, I think I get the good opener here, which you'll see. The reason it's so good is what Orphan does is he jumps over your head, and you actually don't even have to dodge. Like, you literally just let him jump over your head, turn around, and backstab him. It's fucking amazing. Please tell me I got the good opener, so I'm not talking out of my ass. Give it to me, baby. Give me that opener. Give it to me. That's right. See, he just jumps over your head. And then the game doesn't give me the backstab. I guarantee you I was upset about that. His backstab hitbox is a little fishy. Do you get that? I made a fishy joke. This attack's pretty good. You can typically get behind him. I don't do it perfect there. I should have routed that a little bit better. This is another good attack. Just make sure you back up enough. Again, I don't know why that wasn't a backstab. Whenever he does that attack, it's pretty good to quick step forward to the left. And then really just trying to get something going here. Like I said, quick step forward to the left. And then I'm doing a lot better here. I mean, my beast meter's full. The one thing that sucked was this. He has a tendency not to go second phase right away all the time, but he did for some reason. But you know what? I'll fucking allow it, because look what he does here. He just stands there. I broke his fucking AI. I don't know what the hell happened, but I'm not complaining. You're dead, son. Get the fuck out of here. You're dead. It is a gold split, but I think it's only a gold by, like, I want to say maybe 20 seconds, because I've had other fight, like, I think I had another gold before this where I've had, like, a pretty bad fight the first time, but then I went back and had, like, an amazing, like, no-hit Orphan. But at this point, after how Wet Nurse had gone and everything, I was like, I don't care. I'll fucking take it. Thank you, game. Thank you for letting me smack that booty. You just laid down for me and let me touch that sweet, sweet ass, and this is exactly what I wanted. And my chat freaked out. Finally, the good RNG. The memes work in my favor. And as I said, this is my last leveling right here. I get my skill to 35 before Lawrence, and then I get 33. And definitely need to buy more bolt paper and beast blood pellets. I buy 14 of each. I guess I buy 15, and then just that, because it doesn't matter. I only have 4 bosses left, and at this point, like I can only afford maybe 1 death, and even then, if I die again, it's gonna barely be a PB. Because it just for the record, I don't know why I didn't say this until this point. My previous PB was 1:49:07 in game time, and you can see on the screen that my real time was 2:03:39. So that's what I was running against, and that was a pretty good time for me at this point in the running. Like, my previous PB before that, I think, was like 2:06, and my previous one before that was like 2:25, and my previous one before that was like 2:53 or something. Like, so I improved pretty quickly. And if I did grind this run for another month on Twitch, I really do think I could get like a sub 130 run, but and maybe even further, honestly. Like, I think I could remove some of the bitch strats and really get good at the run, but I just want to do other stuff too. Like, it's fun running these games, but I'm starting to run Breath of the Wild. We're going to play Neo again. I'm finally going to get to go back and play that, which I'm really excited about. I'm looking at doing Horizon Zero Dawn speedruns. I'm looking at doing a Dark Souls 2 Soul Level 1. I'm looking at Dark Souls 2 speedruns after that. I'm considering DS1 speedruns in the future. I want to run Hyper Light Drifter and play that game too. I want to run Nier Automata and play that game too. We played Portal the other day on stream, which was totally random, but it was super fucking fun. Like, I just have fun doing different things. I like doing speedruns and playthroughs on Twitch, so yeah, it'll be nice. Sorry I was blabbing and talked over that. The trick there to get the skull, you want to call up the elevator, and I'm pretty sure you could see it for yourself, but you want to jump about halfway down and then roll again, grab the skull, and then after that you can like run behind it and use the bullet hunter mark, and then you have it. Take a quick chug of that water, and then go to Hunter's Nightmare, and then we're gonna run to Lawrence. And I will warn you, Orphan is a very, very difficult fight, but I honestly think Lawrence may be the hardest boss in the run. Like, I still think Orphan's a more difficult boss overall, but when it comes to the speed run, I think Lawrence is worse, because when I'm doing a normal run, I can get all that juicy bitch vigor, and have like 50 fucking vitality with the HP runes and stuff here. But even with 33 vitality, Lawrence can two-shot you and questionably one-shot you. I've had him, and I know when I say one-shot sometimes, I'm like 80% HP, and I'm like, one shot. No, I mean full fucking force, 100% HP to 0% HP. This man is a damage god, and we all need to respect him for it. But I like my first run, that 253 PB I was talking about, I think I died to Lawrence like 15 times in the run, and I only died like 3 times elsewhere. I'm not even joking. Anyway, that aside, use your Beast Blood Pellet and Paper before. Get up here and transform attack this man. Let him punch you, and look at that god damage. Look at that god damage, dude. Look at that shit. I don't have any big advice for this fight other than try to do this. You want to get the staggers on the side, but they're random. Like, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. It's just potato, tomato. Lawrence is going to fuck you in the bottom-o. Like, it's fucking annoying, man. Luckily, I got a good attack here. After you staggered one side, go to the other side, and I was like, parry that man. Riposte that man. Yeah, boy, go. Get him! I've already got him down to like 30% HP before he's even transformed, and then he falls on my fucking face. So I was like, yo, look at this. I have like a third of my beast meter, and then I was like, okay, D-Mod, fucking calm down. You're getting too ballsy. Chill your shit. Okay, smack that face, because there's no booty left. And that honestly could have killed me. If I had rolled at the just a second later, it would have killed me, because it would have gotten counter hit, and it would have been the one shot, the god shot I was talking about. Luckily, he shits the bed, and I don't, and finally kill this man. This is the first time I'd ever killed Lawrence on my first try in the run. I'd killed him in 2 goes before, but that was the first time I'd killed him in 1 go, and I was pretty fucking stoked. So it's going to be a decent time save, and that's one of the things that helps secure the very nice, tasty PB. And yeah, really for that fight, like I said, you want to focus on staggering both sides. That's really my only piece of advice. Other than that, there's certain attacks that are punishable, like the ones where he punches the ground and like does an AoE fire thing. Like, you can kind of just get behind and smack that booty, but it's really something that's going to come with practice. It's like Orphan. Like, you want to, do those backstabs on Orphan, but it just takes practice to get good at it. It really does. Maybe you're better at that fight than I am. Maybe you'll have an easier time, but I really struggled with those 2 fights in particular in the speedrun. And the final 3 aren't so bad. Gehrman is a little iffy sometimes, but that's because more my skill level, not that Gehrman's an inconsistent fight. Anywho, here you go to Witch's Abode, because that's where you grab the lamp for the Witch's Room, and that's the fastest way to Logarius. And we're pushing hard for that sub 2 hour real time. I mean, you can even see it. Hold on. Sorry, drinking some more of that tea. You can see it on my splits too. If you look at some of best segments, for any unfamiliar with what that might mean, I mean, I guess it's self-explanatory. Sorry, I'm not trying to talk down to anybody. I'm just trying to be descriptive. It just, sum of best segments basically means it's a sum of all my gold splits. So it's the sum of all the fastest times that I've completed each segment. So if I were to have basically my perfect run at this point, it would mean my run would be a 140 real time, which would probably be like a 130 something in-game time. Like it definitely would be, but it'd probably be like a 134, 133, something like that, I would guess. Maybe more than that. Maybe it would be sub 130, actually. Probably would be. So, and I think I could get that time down, because like I said, some of my gold splits, like I've never had an orphan fight where I haven't died, and things like that. And I know there's times, because you can even see in this run, like even in this run that hasn't been perfect, like I've been getting gold splits at a decent amount. So I definitely think it's possible to get it down, but like I said, gonna move on after this one. Maybe I'll go back and do a run every now and again for fun, because I do like this run. It is very fun. My only gripe with this run at all is that you can't easily make save states. I really wish PS4 had an easier way to use save states, because on PC with the Speed Souls save organizer, it's like it takes like 5 seconds to load a save, but on PS4 to load saves off your USB, it takes you like to close the application, start it up, all that shit. It just takes forever. All right, one last big run. This is really it, because after this you go back to Hunter's Dream, and then the final 2 bosses are right there. So run through Cainhurst. There are 2 shortcuts in Cainhurst. One you have to grab, so I guess it's not really a shortcut. I guess it's just part of the level. But the first shortcut you don't have to grab, but I do, I grabbed it here because I was just like, fuck it. Like, if I somehow die, like, I want a way to get back and secure this PB. Even if at that point it'll end up being like a 1 minute PB, I still want a way. I still want a way to do it. So the shortcut is up here through on the left. You just need to be quick about it because once you press the button, that gate shuts and you don't want to get shut in there. And then you're going to run through here. You just need to be careful because that guy at the end over there is going to shoot darts, which instead of a roll, I got a circle jump and he shot me with a dart. But it's fine because we're going to run up here and then we're going to do a small skip. This is a very easy skip to do. Like I said, I really only wanted to add in easy skips just like with the Dark Souls 3. You just run up these stairs, jump over that, boom, and then nice, you're down on the lever right here. It's not a huge skip. It saves probably like 30 seconds or something like that. Like I think otherwise you have to run around the roofs back behind me where I am right now. But yeah, I wait for the thing to go all the way over because you can't climb it until it's all the way there. And that lady ran around the corner like a crazy person. But you just don't want to get shot by the dark guy again because if you get shot by the dark guy again, then there'll be a swiggity swooty coming for that booty and you don't want that. So then you head up here to Logarius, pretty much it. But skips like that hopefully are useful for people wanting to play the game too. It'll allow you to skip some of the areas because like you don't need to be a pro runner and practice a ton to get these skips. Like there's a new skip actually in this game called Sewer Skip. I've seen some of the runners on Twitch running it. And again, I respect the hell out of those dudes grinding runs with skips that are so inconsistent. It's like a 10% so far. It looks like 10% with the current setup to get the skip reliably. It's only like 2.5 minutes into the run, but still to reset runs, like it just gets so tedious to me to constantly reset runs. Like even when I was running this game, if I reset like 5 or 6 times without getting a run going, I just change games because I don't want to let it get me tilted. I want to have fun with my stream, so I'll just change to something else. Like there's no point in running if I'm not having fun that day, you know? Anyway, use bolt paper before, beast pellet after, and then let him toss his big spirit bomb or whatever. Don't fuck up the dodge like an idiot. And then really all you want to do for him is transforms. Like you really should just do one transformation attack and then let him jump back. I got greedy there and tried not to, but it's really just this. I start hitting him more because I see like, oh, he's gonna already go second phase. And then get some hits on him, get the backstab, and Logarius is dead. It's pretty easy in the run. Like he's really not a hard... he's not a hard boss in the run, but I'm not too bad at fighting Logarius anyway, because I really, really love Blood Tinge builds. So I've done a couple different runs of this game where I've killed him at like level 20 to 30 with only like a +4 Saw Cleaver or something like that. So I've just gotten good at that fight over time. Somehow I lost time there, though. I'm not really sure why I lost so much time. I don't know what I did, but that was an okay fight. Like, it wasn't perfect, but it was fine. You want to spend all your insight here. It's written in the notes for the speedrun. Now, I actually don't know why for sure. I think because in the normal speedrun, you actually have a lot more insight here. And if you have more insight, it means you have a smaller beast meter, basically. So that might be why. I just do it to be safe. Like, I don't know if it'll make this fight harder. So I'm like, I don't want the fight to be harder for me. So I just buy all the beast blood pellets I can, use one before the fight, smack that bitch in his wheelchair, and then get the bolt paper on. You can dodge that attack. Usually you can, like, he has a lot of 2 combos. You can dodge the first one and shoot the second one. Like, just backstep the first one, shoot the second one. I fucked it up there and tried there, and as you can see, it's going fucking swimmingly. I really am not great at the Gehrman fight in the speedrun. It's yet again, I'm actually pretty good at Bloodborne, but I'm good when I take my time and stuff like that, like, and can balance my aggression. I feel like the Bloodborne speedrun is very much about getting in their face constantly, which it may be insane coming from me saying it's too much aggression. It's not. It's just, it takes a better amount of skill than I completely have at this point to do that level of aggression and do the strats. It just takes more practice, honestly. Practice makes perfect. But definitely try to get damage on him. As you saw during that like buff phase, you can actually do a backstab there, but I was too early. It's just like Orphan, like you have to wait for the backstab, and then I was too early. I probably could have killed him during that phase, but I didn't, which would have been a nice little time save, but that's okay, because I'm pretty sure I kill him here. And like if you do this fight efficiently, you can actually get through Gehrman and the Moon Presence with the same bolt paper and beast blood pellet, but yeah, I wasn't too quick. And even then it was a gold, so whatever, man. And then Moon Presence pretty easy, but you just gotta be careful. Moon Presence, even though it's an easy boss, it does really high damage. Like, you'll see here, I get smacked around like and almost killed. You don't want to be too ballsy. I get lucky because it does that attack. That attack's actually good. If you do 2 charged R2s, then you can stagger it most of the time. Not always, but it's a good strat there. And if you don't get the stagger, then I recommend healing immediately. And then really after this, it was just stand still and die, please. Started jumping around more, but fuck him. He's about to die, and boom, run over. Well, almost. What you do here is you want to quit out, but you need to wait until you get the souls from the Moon Presence. That's when the run is officially over. So you'll see I wait and then quit. And then boom, fucking pump that fist, boy, because you got a sub 2 hour. I was fucking stoked. I honestly, like I said, I was disappointed with what happened at Wet Nurse. Like, this probably would have been like 6 minutes faster in about like a 140 run if I hadn't, but I'm totally okay with it. I'm really happy with completing this run. I'm really proud that I was able to take the Bloodborne run because I actually tried speedrunning this on Twitch a couple months ago, and I couldn't get the run. Like, I just couldn't. I couldn't do it, and it was because I was doing the speedrun route. That was the first time I realized that I don't think it's the best thing in the world to start with the current meta route, and that's because they use very optimized strats. These are runners who've run this game and had practice with this game, and they do use the best strats, but for someone new to the game, you're going on an uphill slope. Like, it's better to not like walk up a wall than it is to, I like going on a nice little incline, something that's manageable, something that's challenging, but not something that is going to be overly frustrating or anything like that. So anyway, look at all the beautiful people, enjoy them. I hope you guys found this commentary entertaining, fun. I hope you find it useful for you. I did my best. I don't know as much about this run, to be honest. Like, I'm not the most informed on this run in comparison to something like Dark Souls 3, but I still hopefully can give you guys a good vaulting point to start running Bloodborne if you want to, because like I said, very, very rewarding run. My only recommendation is use bit strats, like I said in the beginning, and just try not to get too frustrated, because Bloodborne, I feel like, was really hard. Like, Dark Souls 3, I was able to kind of jump into and get fairly quickly. Back in the day, not as much because of the Henri strats. Like, Henri killed a lot of runs for me, but other than that, it wasn't so bad. But Bloodborne, Gascoigne is pretty difficult in the beginning, and if you don't get the Vicar strat, she can be pretty reset heavy as well. The Bloodstarved Beast one isn't so bad. And if you're not used to running past enemies in Souls, I could see the DLC being a challenging thing for you. Even the ring race, even with the +7 weapon, yes, you do a lot of damage, but they do a lot of damage to you too. ROM, challenging. Cleric Beast, fucking joke. One Reborn even. Like, One Reborn, if you don't do the strat perfectly, it can drop a lot of bodies on you and be very difficult. Micolash is all about building the beast meter, trying to get him in that room, like getting the skip, like he can hit you with the thing. I mean, I would say that Wet Nurse is a joke, but look what happened to me in this run. I mean, normally I think Wet Nurse is a joke, but you can see that even speedrunners, even people who've practiced to some extent these things and have played Bloodborne plenty, can still, when going full balls, make dumb mistakes and die. Amygdala's not that hard. Cleric Beast, you're not going to die to, which is a Hemwick. Unless you're a god like me, you're not going to die to. Blue Goobers, probably not. A Britas, if you don't get the strat, I could see people having trouble with, because like, I've had runs where I've not gotten the strat, and then it gets totally fucking rough. And then I can't see my splits beyond here anymore because I'm staring at the screen. But I think after that, it's a DLC. Like, Ludwig, obviously Ludwig is a challenging boss. I've fought him plenty because he's my fucking favorite, and yes, he's still my favorite. I fucking love Ludwig, but honestly, like, I'll say this as a treat for people who actually watched through this entire fucking video and are still listening to me, and I really fucking appreciate you. If you listen to this whole thing, I really, really genuinely do. Thank you so much. Midir might actually be my second favorite boss now. I kind of talked him up a little bit in the original review, but it was kind of like, But the more I think about that fight, the more I think about that boss fight, the more I think to myself, it's like the perfect example of a Dark Souls boss fight. Like, he has really rough attacks that do a lot of damage, and he has a really big HP bar, and it's an endurance fight for that reason. But every single one of his attacks is very, very punishable if you know how to punish it. If you know where he's going to be, where his head's going to land, if you know where to walk at the right time, it's such a rewarding fight, because if you watch the recent Defense of Dark Souls 2 video, the first fight I put in there was a meteor fight where I don't even think I healed. And that's because once I practiced it, it wasn't that hard anymore. And even though I ranked him as my hardest boss, I remember people got really weirded out about why I put Dancer at number 3. And I honestly just kind of ranked them like, if I was to do like a run with a weapon I'd never done before, which bosses would I be most likely to struggle with? That's basically how I ranked them. Because honestly, I've practiced that game so much at this point that none of the DS3 bosses are really challenging for me anymore. Because I'm too practiced in the game, basically. Not because they're not challenging bosses, just because they're not challenging for me personally. Anyway, getting off that random segue, I fought Ludwig plenty, and he's not too hard in the speedrun, but obviously I had a kind of sloppy fight with him. Blue goobers, they can one-shot you. If you're too greedy, they can one-shot you. I've died to blue goobers once or twice. And then, blue goobers 2, excuse me. I've never died to the fucking, I've never died to the celestial emissary. No, never, not once, not even once. And, that's a lie. I totally died to them when I did the boss footage ranking. I'm pretty sure I say that in the Bloodborne ranking video. Anyway, then there's Lady Maria, who, after today's developments, what we discovered together, I think might make her an easier fight, but still very challenging. Orphan and Lawrence, don't even get me started. I already talked about it plenty. They're fucking really hard. Logarius, not very challenging. Gehrman, could be more challenging. Like, I've died to Gehrman before, and funny enough, I've actually died to Moon Presence before. I know Moon Presence is an easy boss, but I mean, you saw it in the run. I almost died. Anyway, I think for one day, I have yacked your ear off enough. I very much appreciate it if you've watched to this point in the video. I hope you enjoyed the run. I hope this helps you guys with any runs that you want to do, anything you want to do. And if you just watch because you like watching my videos, you like supporting what I do, and like watching me speedrun games in a somewhat pretty damn fast way, then I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video very soon. Much love to you.